reaches the center, there's nothing much else left for that one team that likes to play in the center. But of course, that's like the Southeast Asia style, right? But for the South Asia style, I guess it's also like a discovery for the Southeast Asia teams to see whether they play differently or not. But speaking about the teams that might play differently, we have GEEK here going up against FaZe Clan.
Yeah, first contact made by the side of FaZe Clan, spotted out GEEK SLATE at first. GEEK SLATE tried to respond, but apparently they don't have enough resources right now to just keep on persistently or consistently going for those fights. So they have to make sure all
هلا حبايب هلا سجودي هلا حمزة.
Teams still lurking around. A lot of clashes when it comes to the first few maps, usually in the first day.
Yeah, that's where everyone's still kind of discovering, like, okay, where's the best drop spot and so on and so forth. So for GEEK will not be first blood there, but it could be here.
يا حبيبي هلا كارين هلا رامي هلا الشنافي هلا حمزة هلا سجاد. تعالوا نتابع شوي نشوف الأخبار. منورين حبايب.
On the other hand, a bit separated for the teammates, but it's kind of bleeding out with those DBS. Even though being nerfed, it's still going to be our most popular weapon now.
نورت معاذ.
Hill just going to go for the push, but Sky on the other hand.
عليكم السلام هلا حمودي هلا قلبي هلا حبيبي. خلينا نصور. السلام عليكم حبايب، حياكم الله وكل عام وانتم بألف ألف ألف خير. عاد الله عليكم باليوم من البركات والله يتقبل كل أعمالها دخلت طاعة صح. السلام عليكم حبايب، كل عام وانتم بألف ألف ألف خير. تعالوا نتابع البي ام ار سي اللي تكون بين جنوب شرق آسيا وجنوب آسيا، ونشوف الفامباير ونشوف الالتر ايجو ونشوف البوكس جيمنج ونشوف الفيز ونشوف اس تي اي ونشوف اي 8. هاي الفرق اللي راح تكون جايه الى الرياض. تعالوا نستمتع بها. ولا وقت بي ام ار سي مينا يوم 20/7. هلا حمودي هسه حبايب اركز على الشات بس انشر ستوري. وي فلك هذا فلك طرك يا فلك، هذا عظيم يا ولد، هذا اللاعب عظيم.
Ooh, wow, looks like Contract's happy. His prediction is happening. So that
بس انشر ستوري واركز وياكم. ها احمد جمال نور جيم اوفر حلاوي.
We're talking about Hill Esports here, ladies and gentlemen. Coming back to GEEK SLATE, still stuck with FaZe Clan and FaZe Clan have them cornered.
But inside of Agan I8 on the other hand at a cost, even though they got the entire team wiped
شد
out.
اشتيدك.
Yes, 4 points in the bag, but and it lasts long enough. On the side of GEEK SLATE versus FaZe here, they definitely fought against each other. They have first contact.
لك حمودي بس انشر ستوري حبايب. ها
But apparently they will have a bit of a stalemate since they are pushing GEEK SLATE towards the corner at the edge of the island itself and nowhere else to go. GEEK SLATE will have to take this fight either way, have to cut across.
خلتني اصير احول. شنو السالفه؟ شنو الجوده تعبانه؟
I feel like it's almost impossible in this state. They have to force and brute force themselves out.
Wow, the thing is that they don't have the information where exactly FaZe Clan.
ما اقدر اركز على الاثنين. ملا اخذ الترجمه صار. ياسر حروث حبيبي حروث انا بالديسكورد داخل تجي. تنورنا اكيد الاستاذ حارث احمد جمال. خلينا نسلم على الشباب جميعا. 1-1 مرتضى كل عام وانت بخير انت وياسر ومصطفى ومحمد شاكر وحروث وحسوني واحمد جمال وعباس ومعاذ وام وهيرو وعزوز احمد وساسكي وسيد وكل الحبايب. احبكم وكل عام وانتم بالف خير وان شاء الله من صحه وعافيه وسلامه وموفقيه بكل حياتكم. هاي البطولة جنوب شرق آسيا وجنوب آسيا. راح تشوفون الأسماء راح تفهموها. ولا ذولي من 4 تيمات نفس العلم. هذول فرق منغولية ستالوارت وفريق NBeSports الفور ام في والماب. انت بخير يا حبيبي تدول عينكم. النوس مشتاق لك جدا مشتاق لك. سألوني أي سؤال سأكون مستعدا لإجابتي فورا. بس خلينا نشتغل ناقص الاي اتش سي. اوف يا ميكا اوف يا ميكا اوف يا ميكا. هذا اسطوري هذا اسطوري هذا عظيم. عظيم ابو ميك.
المفروض
حبايب انا مسوي رقم 0 يخفي الكاميرا. لم يشتغل.
They want to commit themselves to this fight.
Yeah, but I really like the cover coming in from Boom, right? It's like Mika shoots onto Razy, and then the follow-up from like this kind of distance is there. It's like they have their.
اي نسولف على البوم ونسولف على الفيز. الفيز راح يكونوا مشاركين بالبي ام دبليو اي. الفامباير مشاركين على البي ام دبليو اي.
Yummy shot at one of the players come from GEEK SLATE as well.
نجمة أرابيا هاي تيمات ليست بالتيمات العربية. اخوان نشرت بالستوري لاعب اسمه هوكسي، لاعب كوري. ها اعوذ بالله اعوذ بالله، مو لاعب مال 2000 ولا بس صوتك شوية علي. اي علي هسراك اقرب المايك. وانت تتوقع ياخذ البطولة دي ار اس؟ اتوقع دي ار اس ممكن.
Pretty safe.
فلك طرهم اي والله.
I think they'll be pretty fine. Maybe a team with a high fragging firepower like STE, because it's the first round. Everyone's trying to get to know each other. But hang that thought for a second as Mela will take out Rosemary. But Mela's not done yet though. Now he needs to take out the other member of Alter Ego. Comes in from the side and wins the fight. Mela, 2 knockdowns back to back.
That's why this guy is a scary player. He knows how to play the mind games. He's his opponents. Definitely can pull it off by himself. Mela, on the other hand, a bit spread out, but they do have vehicles in case they need to flee. Octa coming up from Alter Ego, on the other hand, realize that he's way too deep inside of the blues and need to make an exit out of this. But Onza's just next to side of Alter Ego. Might have to cut across, but lucky enough, Alter Ego just left. So they won't be spotted out just yet.
Oh, okay. Onzen, scope. Nope, nobody's there.
He saw the car. He wanted the car.
Yeah, he wants the car now. But he has to get it fast because, like, now they are in Camp Alpha Island and the circle's on the other side. But no, hang that thought now. Vampire Esports in action. A knockdown to Ade Luke. Stone is knocked as well. Raven Claw will be taken out. Now it's down to FTH as well as Newsy that's currently playing to win this fight.
When you say he's not performing, he's actually trying to clutch everything by himself. We do have Empire shot by those DBS. Shamil knock on FTH. On the side of Empires, Newsy trying to just giving extra support fight at the back. But 2 members bleeding out and Shamil just finished off FKF.
Oh.
And that's going to be it. YOODO Alliance made it happen. One of the best teams
in
South Asia happened to be
شنو اسم البطولة؟ اسم البطولة PMRC.
Well, I don't know who predicted.
اي ميلا معار.
Vampire
ميلا
Esports,
معار من
okay.
Definitely not me.
شنو اسم البطولة؟ عليكم السلام ورحمة الله منور هلا فاميلي هلا الحبايب.
Official prediction. Just put it out there.
كيف نوزي من بداية السيزون ما يقدم هو MVP؟ ها؟
But the FTH is fluke, right?
كيف؟ كيف ما يقدم؟ تعال قل لي كيف ما يقدم نوزي؟
Just saying, but we're going to say FTH.
كيف تقول لي نوزي ما يقدم؟
But back to a sort of STALWART tops. Now
جوائز هاي 20,000، جوائز المينا 100,000.
Oh yeah.
One of the best, arguably one of the best players in the world. He got himself not just the MVP in PMGC 2022, he got himself the Gunslinger Award as well. 2 awards and the one
كيف تتحدث على هذا الموضوع وتقول لي ان نوزي لا يقدم الاداء الجيد؟
True that.
I mean, very recognizable, right? Yeah, can't forget about him. But now we have one of the top eliminator as well. We got Yummy. Some people call him the DBS King. Back in the day, back in PMSL, and he has excelled certainly. But this time, well, he still has a DBS. You can't separate a DBS from Yummy, even though the DBS has been nerfed. So-called nerf, but it's only nerf if you are wearing a level 3 vest. If you're still wearing a level 2 vest, it's pretty much the same.
I feel like it's not that big of a nerve now.
Not at all. even to the pro teams as well, they don't feel that it's a significant nerf.
I just wish they really just put it back in the air.
نوزي ما يقدم.
That's a huge nerve that we're waiting for. On side of MBE.
نوزي أول PMPL دخلها مع الفريق وصار.
And this is also a rookie team, even though.
لأنه بطولة المينا هي مدعومة من المملكة العربية السعودية ومقامة أوفلاين بالرياض، لذلك يعني الدعم جاي من المملكة. ها احكي لكم هذا لاعب كوري ما مكمل 17 سنه بعده، عمره 16 سنه وكم يعني باقي له كم شهر يكمل 17. اسطوره التراكينج، خرافي بالتراكينج. وعليكم السلام هلا زوكسبن. وعليكم السلام هلا حبايب. هسه فهمتوا ليش 20,000 هاي وليش المينا 100,000؟
And with Guang on top of this hill, shoots down onto Alter Ego, reveals himself. But his other teammates are there.
Alter Ego هذا الفريق Alter Ego راح يكون مشارك بالمين ستيج للمين ستيج للبي ام دبليو اي لانه هو فايز بالسوبر ليج. قل لي شنو تريد افهمك؟ راكينج اندر هاي بشكل بس حركته بطيئه شوي. بعده صغير وهاي يعني هو من الاكاديميه ترى هذه. اوه الفيز شو الفيز؟ الاي 8 جي فيز يا اختي نار.
Right now for FaZe Clan
ملا راح تروح للرياض على الاقل بطولة بي ام دبليو اي وغيرها. ان شاء الله دينا اذا الله كتب لنا الرزق نروح. فينتوريز فقط ميل للمعار بس. هذا الفريق فيز ميل له. هو كان لاعب انفينيتي ومعار لفريق الفيز. الحجي اسطورة تراكينج. حجي قوي بالتراكينج بس كوبس انا اشوفه افضل لاعب تراكينج بالعالم. being forced to split up. The formation's broken. The blues are coming behind. عليكم السلام هلا بقلاوجي. رايض رياض منور. مصطفى منور حبايب منورين جميعا. سويوغ هذا تي 2 كي ذول الفريق المفاجئ للجراند فاينل. يعني هذا الفريق اللي مفاجئ بالجراند فاينل كان صراحه ولا حد كان ينتظر يكون متواجد. يعني البي ام جي سي اذا تذكرون السيناريو اللي صار اكشن واكشن خربان اكشن خربان يا اخوان. اكشن من صار عنده بيبي خرب ابو اللعبه. هسه توب هسه يعني واحد من افضل لاعبي العالم ان لم يكن افضلهم توب. وهذا نيرزد.
making it so hard for them to retaliate or to fight back.
Oh, the blue will arrive onto them really soon, so they gotta make this quick. Action still calling up for help. 80% of help, that's still bleeding out. Tops is still alive. Tops with a long range out of Pombed. He'll be held down by Tops. And at the same time, the blue has arrived.
يا ابو اللعبه والله ابوها للعبه يلعن يومك. عظيم. اكشن قبل نهاية ذيك السنة صار عنده الله رزقه بالطفل ووراها ما بعد جي صار يعض اصابعه.
eliminated for the entirety of Boom and finally placing themselves at 11th after digging their own grave to fight against ST. But top
ايش يعتمد التيم اصل الفريق. يعني اصل الفريق مثلا هسه نجمة جالكسي صح منظمة ما ادري اماراتية. اوف البوكس 4 ام في هذا قوي. 4 ام في شيل
Oh boy, not doing great for both teams.
شال الفور ام في.
It's gonna be a different team and it's gonna be 4 MV coming, the 4 Miracle vibes. And this is incredible coming up from Leo as well. They finally get the jump on the small hill. And it's gonna be Slim not rocking that one now.
I get the reference.
Yeah, I love him.
مشارك بوكس ملا سكراي يمكن هيك اسمع اعتزل. لا ما اعتزل لا سكراي ولا سكري ولا بيكا موجودين احتياط.
They are on the outside of the circle though. But this time it seems to be FaZe Clan needing to win the
IGL STEIC. Why?
Thing is, do they know exact position of all the other teams?
وبيكا مو مدرب ترى. هذا الان موجود بالفريق. ايه اصل التيم يعتمد على مين اجى مين وصل فاهم؟ يعني نجمة وصل من العراق يعتبر فريق عراقي. تذكرون بالبي ام جي سي الفات وصل من افريقيا الفريق الكازاخي تايتن وكان مقيم بتونس لذلك يعتبر فريق تونسي. ايست ترى لاعوب يجنن بالفور ام في بس بعد بيكا ولا شنو اهم عنصر عندك بالتيم؟ يعني ما افهم شنو اهم عنصر بالتيم، قل لي واجاوبك. اس دي اي نفسهم روستر البوكس اللي اخذوا ثاني سوبر ليج. ماذا افهمك؟ اذا تقصد سوبر ليج الفل، السوبر ليج الفل بعدها ما بادية اصلا، بس سبرينج بس اخذوها الالتر ايجو، وكانوا المركز الثاني اللي هم بوكس اي نفسهم الشان لايك دايموند. اذا تقصد شان لايك دايموند اي نفسهم. فينتوريز مورامون فينتوريز اون ذا نكس. نقطة على بي ام بي ال، كنتوا تعرفون موضوع بي ام ار سي؟ يب كنا نعرف. يقول لك ليش تحب ملا شكرا توضيح توضيح يا حبيبي فدول عينك. يلا وانت هلا سجود سبورتر يعني اقوى شيء بالفريق، افضل عنصر بالفريق. يعني الفراجر ما يقدر يؤدي لولا السبورتر، والسبورتر ما يقدر يتحرك لولا الاي جي ال، فالكل يعني ولا الدوك موجود بهاي البطولة لولا يعني الدوك اتوقع ما لو تقول لي اسم الفريق اقدر اساعد، بس الدوك ما. مين الدوك يعني؟ لو تقول لي اسم الفريق شنو اقدر اجاوب.
we're talking about. There's going to be MAB as well, who's trying to gatekeep them from the inside.
Well, Tops is still alive, so I'm still going to claim that. Just say.
Maybe maybe he can do something miracle.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, we have seen it time and time again that you only need that one player to get the chicken dinner.
شيء متسابق وشيء كمل
he needs to go up against
like
that, like.
من أحسن سبورتر بالعالم.
There's like 2 other teams in a trio. So it's going to be tough, but
أحسن سبورتر بالعالم
عدا
عدا الصين صراحة، لأنه أنا ما ملم كثير بالصين.
A lot of belief and faith in their clout, by the way.
Of course.
Yeah,
ما عندي كثير معرفة بالصين. أتوقع توب.
Player in the world for top, but coming up from the side of MA.
ما في وسهم قوي.
But definitely trying to find Team Leo, who already gone. But his name is Leo. Don't get confused by that. Coming up from 4MV, Doc spotted outside players of MBE from afar. Now MBE still have a full squad. The only one, in fact, intact with 4 players in it. Well, MAB and T2K do have 3 more as a trio. The rest barely have enough.
البطولات اللي فاتت تنقبل عبارة عن كوس وثلاث خسارات. مستحيل.
But if he can actually revive his teammate, now that's going to be a battle.
فيوسو توب من المينا فريك وراجنر.
But none for Onzen as he is out. Number 6 for FaZe Clan.
السعودية صار رسمي الاتحاد العراقي. وعنده يوم 14 بطولة لفيفا ضخمة جدا. دوك لاعب فورين في اعرف منهم بس ايست. يعني تابع نوبات على تيك توك. للبوي سبورتر يب بس انفلونس يمن بشكل عام ما اشوف هذاك الفريق يعني 16 على العالم. وراها الفريق ما توفق بال يعني البي ام بي البرازيلي كان المفروض يصير بطل، امريكاز تشامبيون شيب كان المفروض يصير بطل، فلذلك ما تقدر تقول للبوي افضل. يندرج مع الموازنة لا، بس يكون عنده دعم حكومي. لو ظل 4 لاعبين في الوقت الحالي شلون يعني؟ لا تحكي على كاسي والله يبقى بس. هذا فريق منغولي.
Where would he go? Because right now, 4MV only have 1 player. STE as well. T2K and MBE right now do have the most numbers, but they're fighting each other at the same time. MBE will have to spread out, have to leave this compound. The Blues are close on their end.
ممكن نمكاريلو.
I feel like it's going to be a
بس الأكمل ريفو.
It's tough for Apex as well, but Top, he knows.
تابع ريفو لا ينطي نفسه بسهولة، يقدر يسوي ريفايف أي مكان. يتحرك بعقليه.
والله
ما له دخل على الفازبي والله العظيم. بارابوي اختناق بارابوي.
That's going to be the end of it. It's going to be perfect cross-air, placed on top of Apex by Top. But back to the side of T2K. Now I feel like Top being cornered left, right, center here.
لا السنة ممكن البطل بقوة اس تي حسب خلينا نشوف بي ام دبليو ايش راح يصير فيها. بس فامباير هم قوي السنة جدا. يلعبون بطولات رسمية. اكو بطولة رسمية هاي البي ام دبليو ال ما ادري بي ام اي دبليو فشي هيك بطوله يعني على ايام راح تصير. ولا شنو مع السلك انجليزي يا اخوي. ابيكس باع العم اللعبه. لا على اليسرى على اليسرى اسمع. السنه اكثر لاعب عنده كلات ببطولات رسميه لحد الان. اكثر لاعب عنده بطولات كلات بالعالم. انا كنت محضر معلومه البطولات قادمه لكن راح اقول لكم اياها ما دام احنا 134 يعني نقدر نعيد المعلومه ونقول اكثر لاعب عنده كلات بكل بطولات العالم حاليا هو توب 224 وهاي 4 صار 228.
And for the side of NBE, they tried to spread out to make sure they have wider angles to cover, but T2K, they're being bombarded by those nades from afar. Will they keep the pressure on? Will Top try to play it quietly and just trying with those chicken dinner by himself? But the blue zone is too punishing. Eating them alive. Rick have to stand up, giving away.
5 يعني صار 229. بعيدا عن الصين حبايب هاي المعلومات كلها نذكرها بعيدا عن الصين لأنه الصين صعبة الإحصائيات بها جدا. أيوه يلا توب فرصة توب حل عمري يك عيني. يلا توب يلا ابوهم يلا توب بي والله تقدر توب والله تقدر. ايزي عليك توب. النيت خرب. بعيدة توب. صار هواي عليه. جي زين جي الفامباير مع سوني كيش كل ثاني جاهزين يدافعون الفامباير قويين كلهم.
I don't know who predicted STE.
اقوى لاعب ببجي بالتاريخ.
Well, anyway,
كاريلو ممكن.
The first chicken dinner. My goodness. NBE. Coming from Mongolia. Basically it was almost an all Mongolia finish. With T2K having that one final member still active, so
مو نفسهم 100%. يب انت تقصد الفيرتس برو.
Look into the tournament, right? You cannot predict anything that can happen in this tournament because maybe they don't have enough data on this place, and this is actually a good platform, a good tournament for them to actually.
يا اخوان اكثر فريق بالعالم عنده القاب الفا 7.
Yeah, but I think there's one key thing, right? That
عنده 6 تايتلز عنده 6 بطولات.
Like
هاي معلومات راح تسمعوها بالبطولات الجايه وتستمتعون. لا الكراش عراقيين كيف ما
But when all of a sudden they could go all up, they could challenge the Chinese teams and
نور اخي هلا حياتي ملا شنو وضع تيم كي رؤوف غير موفق تيم كي بكل امانه تيم كي غير موفق. حبايب نوصل 100 لايك. منور ومله منو في يا فريق ما افهمك سيد علي. ايه سألوني هاي حب هاي الأسئلة اللي على العالمية. توقع ألفا 7 إلى بطولة من البطولتين. والله شوف المشكلة بالألفا 7 أنت تعرف معاوية أنت متابع وتعرف الألفا 7 فريق يعرف يسيطر على الشكل المباراة. بس نوباته ما يعرف يسوي بالانس بشكل عام. هو متعود على فد ستايل معين حاليا بالبرازيل وبامريكا حتى امريكا جزء كبير منها يعني ستايل برازيلي فاهمني. شوي صوت الدفع عالي نصي. يب اتوقع انه الفا 7 ممكن يكون لهم بطولة. بس خلي بالك الفامباير، خلي بالك من ذكروني انتم تتوقعون ذكروني فامباير ما اعرف، ساعدوني شوي. ما ادري. جيمنج جلاديتر لا S2G، هل لهم شكل جديد بعد الإخفاق الكبير اللي كان نهائي الPMPL التركي؟ ممكن والله الفا من اقوى لاعب عربي بالتاريخ للان لورد. اول في تاريخ PUBG ارقام كامله في بطولات وقاردر او بربوي، ارقام كمات كذا ممكن اوردر. STE صيني قوي 6 to 8 قوي فريق 6 to 8. اي بس مشارك بنسخة واحدة مو بالنسختين. نحاول نجيب فريق مشارك بالنسختين. اي 6 to 8 ممكن بقوة. 6 to 8 ماني احب شو اسمه سنن احبه كثير. نقلات شلون تصير عقد بفلوس المبالغ شلون ممكن اكو لاعب ينكسر عقده تدفع مثلا عقد تدفع المنظمة وبعدين تفاوض وياه على راتبه لا فاير فلوكس ما يجي بطولة بدون ترتيب بتاريخ PUBG موبايل. والله صعب مصريين ارقام تحكي اكيد، بس هو قال بالتاريخ يعني الحج وغيره صار لهم سنة وشوي. فريق استجي تبع رايز ايكورد، يعني ايكورد ينافس بس صعب يكون بطل. يعني هاي اول تجربة عالمية لكل لاعبين ايكورد. الله حيو حمودي الحبيب طبل للتايلانديين يا التايلانديين. مين تايلانديين؟ فامباير وفيز لا جيمنج جلاديتر لا. اذا يبقى بهذا الستايل اللي اخر بطولة وحتى بالPMPL ما كان افضل شيء ترى على فكرة. لا والله ما خلصت، خليتها على مود اسولف وياكم شوي. اكو 2000 اكو 3000 اكو 2500 اكو 3500 اكو 1000 اكو 500 حسب دورين. والله نصحت فيه فرق عربية بس وتفاوضوا وياه وما توفقوا. GEEK ينافس كان اكو حاجز خوف عند ساتان انكسر هذا الحاجز، يبقى الفريق بشكل عام يشتغل ككتلة واحدة. فGEEK ممكن ينافس. PMWI R8 اتمنى يكون من ضمن التوب 6 يا رب. ايكورد يعني شوف صعب يكون من ضمن التوب 6. هذا بالنسبه للاول ستارز. بعد منو كعرب يعني تايتن قد يعتبر من رجال MEA. تايتن ممكن يكون من ضمن التوب 6. ياخذ PMWI قلت لك ممكن فامباير هسه ما اقدر. خلينا نشوف تتقارب البطوله واقول لك. اي دورين لاعب فريق النكسوس. يستحق اللقب اكثر من GEEK؟ لا GEEK يستحق اللقب وكراش يستحق اللقب طبيعي. يعني ما انا ضد اللي يقول هذا فريق ما يستحق اللقب. النتيجه هو يعني هل النصر ما يستحق لقب الPMPL؟ الفريق اللي اخذ البطوله يستحقها. هاي ليش؟ لان البطوله مو كلها فايت. PUBG مو كلها فايت، مو كلها طب. لا مرة فايت ومرة انسحاب ومرة تاخذ هولد ومرة تسوي سرفايفل. اكيد الكراش قصة ثانية. اتمنى لهم توفيق ان شاء الله بالPMRC. تجربة اوف لاين يكون حاضرين يكسبون جماهير. كذا في بي اي تايلانديه ممكن والله. هيثم احمد منور، حيدر كريم منور، قنصل منور. ملا توضيح بطولة آسيا بمال منتخبات بطولة راحوا بها الفرق على أساس يتأهلون للحدث الأساسي اللي راح يكون بشهر 9، فهاي رودة طريقة تنحسب على طريقة يعني اللي شفتوها تنحسب على مثل السباق وأهداف وتجمع نقاط في سبيل أنه توصل عندك أفرج. فرقنا العربية مقابل الصين راح يكون موقف صعب طبعا بالنهاية، فرق شي 30 ثانية. هاي صعب، لكن على فرقنا العربية أنه تستعد. هل اكو وقت للاستعداد؟ لا. ولا كم منظمة عراقية موجودة حاليا؟ وين؟ متعجرف ما ترغم على الاداء، ترغم على شخص ما تقول هذا شخص متعجرف يعني قراراته ما مبنيه على اساس منطقي، عنده يفكر نوبات من دون يرمي اراء من دون افكار، فهذا ما ينطبق على فريق، هذا ينطبق على شخص. تقول مثلا ملا متعجرف. اي اما بخصوص الار 8 اكو تخبط عند الفريق. عندهم 20 يوم، ايش قد عندهم عشان تجهيز 20 يوم تقريبا. اتوقع لابد يصحون اخطائهم وياخذون مساحتهم اللاعبين اكثر. شنو موضوع الدراما اللي صارت مساحه نهايه البي ام بي ال؟ ما سمعتها. حمودي ما يتناسب مع كلوبس الاخير، ما له دخل. حمودي هو يحتاج انه يعود شوي بقوه، وبلس انه ممكن حمودي عنده ازمه ثقه مع نفسه. لو كسب ثقه حمودي يرجع اقوى. لو ولد عيدك مبارك حبيبي، منتظر انت بالف خير الصحه والعافيه. عندهم امكانيه قدام مع هيك نشوف. هذا مستوانا، هذا ادائنا قنصل. يعني اليوم انت منتخب العراق لكره القدم لو توفر له افضل اداء بالكون، هل راح يفوز بكاس العالم؟ هذا مستوى خامه اللاعب. فاحنا سنه بعد سنه دا يزيد خامه لاعبين، تتطور خامه لاعبين في سبيل ان نقدر ننافس بالعالم. وين كنتوا قبل سنه ونص؟ لا انا اشوف الكلام من حق اي شخص يتكلم. ليش؟ لانه انت ببجي موبايل لعبه ما تنقاس على انجازات سابقه، انت لازم تنجز. لحظه في الكاميرا.
I think those teams are the teams that are doing well in their respective PMPL. Elimination point is the key to win in this particular format. So if you have
كوبس خرافي بس مو من الافضل بالعالم حسب الارقام اللي قاعد اشوفها. خليه يشوف.
That's good enough.
Yeah, that's basically the chicken dinner already, right?
Yes.
So yeah, overall, especially when we saw back in Sanhok, 5 teams managed to get to the end of it all and majority consisting of
اكو ناس قاعد تقول لي من هذا اللاعب الكوري وهل وقع مع فريق عربي؟ لا ما وقع مع فريق عربي حبايبي. بما انه في بي ام بي ال يوروب واريبيا، يوروب وافريقيا، اتوقع ممكن اريبيا وتركيا ممكن. اي بس مو غلط الكلام سجودي، مو غلط انه تنتقد، مو غلط انه الشخص خطأ. هسه غلط انه تسب، غلط انه تقذف، بس مو غلط انه الشخص الاخطاء. لو كوبس ولا اولد بوي، لو كوبس حاليا كوبس اكيد. ولا شو اخبار الانتقالات؟ على فكره بعد 4 ايام تنسد الانتقالات. الباترون يا اخوان خليني اقول لكم شغله، انا كنت شوي مبتعد عن السوشيال ميديا لانه صدقا ما شايف بنتي، يعني من جتي للدنيا لحد الامي انا ما شايف بنتي. فاسمع صوتها بس. ارتحيت 3 ايام، ضليت بالبيت، لعبت مع البنيه، شفت اهلي، وبعدها رجعت. فما تابعت كثير، ناس معايدتني كلكم كل عام وانتم بالف خير، بس ما تابعت كثير والله المسجات، صدقا تعذرون. بشكي مع النصر، بشكي بالاي PISKE، بشكي لعوب لعوب صغير ولعوب.
Okay. You wanna go that way? Yeah, almost don't count. So I'll be worried for both of their predictions. They have Vampire as well as STE. Do we still need to give one?
It was FaZe, by the way. It was FaZe.
Oh, FaZe, sorry. FaZe and STE. Do we still
عليكم السلام. اكو بطولة بعد 10 ايام.
They did well in their job. Let them do their job.
اخذ MVP تصفيات اوروبا امس. منو هذا الباترون؟
Before somebody says that, oh, it's going to be the casters.
Yeah, I mean, like with the casters here, so we usually get to be blamed here.
منو افضل تيم بالاي سبورت العربي حاليا؟ جي كي. هسه راح تقول لي جي كي لانه ابطال ام اي وممثلين بالبي ام دبليو اي. لو فايز ارايت راح اقول ارايت، لو فايز فالكون راح اقول فالكون، لو فايز النجمه راح اقول النجمه. في بطولات الهيرة ان شاء الله راح اكون اني ويوسف معلقين على
You don't see their names popping too much, but they actually way up there.
مين افضل اي جي ال بالمين؟ والله صعب ما راح اجاوب. هاي البطوله مال PMRC المشاركين بيها الشباب شنو بيها فرصه تاهل؟ ما بيها اي فرصه تاهل، بس بطوله. انا شفت حلوه انه انت صاحب تايتل اول بطوله. خلينا فاهم عن النار يا مرة.
In recent years, but now with the other new names like I mentioned, NBE, and then we have former Rico Vibes and MAB as well coming from Mongolia. They are putting a big challenge to the other teams. In fact, if you look at all the Mongolian teams earlier, it was only one Mongolian team at number 8. Other than that, they were like top 6 or so. So basically, they're stacking up the upper half of the charts.
I agree. Their firepower definitely tremendously big and strong. But I do notice that about former Vibes, when I look back about their history, they have been forming themselves for a long
RTG موجود هنا بهاي البطولة.
I mean, like it's so hard for them to actually grind themselves up here, and it's well deserving for them if they can.
والله ما يا عزيز والله ما قاعد يحضرني. افضل 3 لاعبين بالعالم توب ريفو توني كي ممكن.
He mentioned that the Sanhok is very circle dependent. I totally agree with that.
افضل 3 اي جي ال عندي كاريلو. دامني قطعت يعني ما نفكر بهذا الموضوع، خليني افكر بعدين اقول. لعبت انه هو بطل بس مع تيمه مظلوم. ما راح اقول لك بالمينا، ما راح اقول لك مستحيل. لا رؤوف ما شفت اخطاء يعني كثير صراحه. كفى هاله من اقوى 5 لاعبين عندي. لا عندك ممكن.
Ooh, that's all I can say.
ريفنكلاو ممكن. ريفنكلاو.
So it's a fly path that, well, most of the hard drops are able to be reached by the teams unless they want to drop into areas like Milta Power. That's going to take a bit. In which, if that happens, then there's a possibility of clashing while getting vehicles. But for the hot spots like Pachinki, School, Rozal, it's all right.
It's so important when they have their initial drop spot here and
في تيم عربي؟ لا ما في تيمات عربية. بطولة تجمع جنوب شرق آسيا مع جنوب آسيا.
How do I say it? Reflect for their performance for the entire day, maybe even for the entire.
زكسي ولوكسي شفتهم قدموا بطولة جيدة لكن.
initial drop spot that's going to be a big trouble for them. We do have Vampire dropping way early on top of.
نص والله صوت البث اشوفه ناصي يعني جيد. إذا عندكم مشكلة مع صوت فتقول صوت البث أعلي له أنصي. راح يروح لميوزك حبايب، ترى الصبر شوي راح يروح لميوزك. لا بس مو قلت للناس خلي تستمتع بيها.
Also speaking of the circle as well, FaZe definitely had those early circles, just like how previous Sanhok kind of shows.
كنت لاعب بطولات سابقا لا، بس أنا شاركت مرة ببطولة مع ستريمرز فزت بيها.
How you have only some ledges if the circle happen to be pushing towards the side of the coastline. But coming up from hill got
ترى هو مو MVP هذا اللاعب، هذا يعني بعيدا عن هذا التفكير، بس أنا قاعد أقول إنه لاعب جيد وشاب. كايوفسكي من أفضل الجلاء. أنت عاد انفلونس شيء، انت جاي تريد تضوجني. يلا يودو اللاينز. سيامل، تذكرون سيامل بالبي ام سي؟ هاي البطولة بيها فرق من اندونيسيا، فرق من فيتنام، فرق من ماليزيا، فرق من اندونيسيا، من منغوليا، من النيبال، من باكستان. هاي البلدان اللي مشارك فيها. فجر البنزين يا اخي، لاعب لازم يصير عنده شوي اي كيو. بعدهم ترى ما مضاعفين الدي بي اس يعني، يمكن بعد التحديث. تيم كمانغولي لو رشح 6 فرق يتأهلون للبي ام دبليو اي من المرحلة الثانية. طبعا هي ما راح تكون بس توب 5 توب 6. ليش؟ لأن أنا أتوقع أنه قولوا وياي أنه الفامباير راح ينطي مجال للفريق السابع أنه يلعب، والألفا 7 ينطي مجال للفريق الثامن، فالتوب 8 قد يكون هو المتأهل. فاهميني؟ يعني للتوب 8 يوصل للتأهل. فرصة خرافية للآر 8، خرافية. أتوقع من الريجن يعني من العرب ار 8 تايتن ممكن يتأهلون. ليش؟ الفامباير ما يقدر. صح فامباير ما يقدر. سوري معاوية. صح فامباير ما يقدر. الفا 7 هو اللي يقدر بس. صح سوري اتس ماي باد والله. صح يعني توب 7 صح، بس الالفا 7 واس تي. صح اس تي اي هم لا لا حتى مو اس تي والله، بس الفا 7 الفا بس. اي في التوب 7 اتوقع انه الار 8 له حظوظ كبيره. عنده حظوظ كبيره. ايكورد احس انه شوي صعبه، بس ما تدري شنو اللي يقدمون اللاعبين. اتمنى لهم التوفيق يا رب. بس وتايتن عندهم فرصة. لا نجم ما يلعبون فيهم. التون 7 لا التون 7 ما يلعبون بطولتين. التون 7 لا بس يلعب بطولة واحدة. Thailand up.
Caught in the action by action. That rhymed well. I see one of the newer players of STALWART Esports used to be with Zeus, used to be with IHC, joining STALWART Esports.
إنجازاته مركز خامس على العالم مع IHC يعني فاهم.
The other top players such as Action, but now with the knockdown, I wonder if STE will go in. But looks like the answer is no.
يجي أكيد يجي بالبي ام ار سي.
Or maybe they'll decide to rotate to somewhere else instead.
أرشح قلت لك طيني وصبر شوي بعد. خلي قبل البطولة بكم يوم يجيني الإلهام. تيم اي كورد اي سبورت اتمنى لهم التوفيق. أول تجربة عالمية فما راح يكون مطلوب منهم أكثر من أنه يقدموا كل ما عندهم.
What's the best that you can do? Number one, you can scout, you can look around you. Number two, you have to depend on long range. And sometimes depending on long range, it's either a hit or miss. Even if you hit, like
اي بس انا احسه ما هو الافضل للنجمه يعني رايي وجهه نظري.
So maybe that's why we don't see that many teams prioritizing that come out anymore.
True, but if you happen to be have to cross around, there's going to be a bit.
يوم 11/7 الساعه 2 الظهر. اجي لاعب والله.
Already jumped himself right on top of everybody else. All they need to do is wait, but do they have enough to last long?
التاريجو فريق النهايات. ايوه فريق النهايات. فاناتيك والشباب اللاعبين والله يخبلون. طولة 3 أيام 18 جيم. التاريجو I think maybe today. روزميري اوف يا اخوان شنو لاعب روزميري اللعبة التاريجو. يا ساتر يا ساتر لاعب يعني فوق الخرافي روزميري.
So we have regional points now, and I think this is interesting, right? So, like what's mentioned by Senator during the interview, he did say that it's about them representing South Asia.
For sure, I remember,
so
حبيبي.
I think that kind of point is like it's relevant to whatever that he discussed. And
روزميري مجنون.
It's South Asia versus Southeast Asia, right? I think that's a very interesting stat to see.
See who's actually the stronger region and first
إكسوديا. والله لاعب روزميري يعني أنا قاعد أحكي لك على فريق بروزميري بفاناتيك يعني هسه هم جابوا غوليايا مدرب جديد بهاي السنة يعني مو جديد بس صعدوه. جابوا غوليايا جابوا محلل همينه من ايفوس ممكن والله هاي كل الجودة هي من يومهم ترى مو يعني لو انا اللي اشوفه ترى مو فل باوع اكو باوع هاي كل اللي قاعد اشوفه انه بكسل الصورة من يومهم. صح اتفق. تفضل قلبي حمود.
Teams might be interested to go up there.
Now this is going to be super interesting. We do know for a fact Leo is already up there. Do they have enough to hold the mountain?
يعني مو عاشق للنجمة بس بكل تأكيد يعني فريق على بعيدا عن تعليق مثل بلد هو أو أي فريق عراقي أو أي فريق عربي كل فرق نحبهم. أمانة أني أحس تويستد قد ينفجر. ليش تويستد ما قدر يضيف أي لاعب للروستر لأنه روسترات انت مشارك بيها باخر بطوله نفسها تشارك بيها. هم تاهلوا ب4 لاعبين حتى اتوقع انس ما راح يقدر يشارك مع تويستد ماين. فهاي ال4 لاعبين راح يكون عليهم مسؤوليه كبيره فاتوقع تويستد ماين قد يكون له شيء.
Even though when the blue is here, so for example, like what DRS is doing right now, even though the blue has arrived and they're like 2,000 meters
باقينا 15 لايك ونوصل 100 لايك. تمنيت انه يعني يعطوني فرصه اعلق على هاي البطوله والله. كثير حاب انه اعلق على البطولات الاسيويه. في شيء بالسعودية احنا عشناه تعلمون ان الجمهور بالسعودية كان يشجع كل التيمات العربية يعني الفي جي اس كان يفايت الجمهور يصيح، نجمة كان يفايت الجمهور يهتف ويصيح، فالكون رايت يعني بعيد عن التيمات السعودية. فالجمهور راح يكون عامل مؤثر جدا لتيماتنا العربية. شكرا على 100 لايك حبايب. اخوان الدي ار اس ها حتى اقول لكم على الدي ار اس فعلا انتم جبتوا موضوع مهم يا اخوان. الدي ار اس يعني تباوع على الاسماء ما تحس ان حتى اداء اللاعبين ما تحس هذا الفريق المرعب اللي قد ينفجر واللي لكن الفريق يعرف يجيب نقاط يعني حتى تابعت شوي من الاس اي تشامبيونشيب ماني ولا تضيع ابو تيتو لا تضيع ابو تيتو وحش ابو تيتو. يلا اخر واحد بدلته اخر واحد عشق الاوزي عشق الاوزي عشق الاوزي حلو نايس اوكتا برافو التريجو. جمهور فالكون بالخصوص هي برافو حبيبي كابتن لير. نجمة أكثر فريق عنده إنجازات. بي ام جي سي بعد ما حد متأهل لها بعد النصف الثاني أهل بي ام جي سي النصف الأول يأهل بي ام دبليو.
So they are the kings of the mountain for now, unless the circle goes there, and it will be
الفحم ما
really
صار.
interesting to see how other teams take over the Kaka Mountain, or maybe Hail Esports, who's on their Amico, moving towards their direction, might challenge.
والله أنا قاعد أجهز إحدى البطولات الجاية وأخذني الشغف قلت خلي أجي نقعد نسولف مع الشباب شوي تقريبا حاضر جهزت كل شيء أحتاجه وبس إن شاء الله المقدمة وبقى إنه أصلا يعني هاي للبطولات جاية ف حبيبي راسلني على الانستغرام لا تنشر رقمك هنا راسلني على الواتساب وعلى الانستغرام وراح اجاوب اعطيك رقمي وتوصل وياي اذا عندك شيء. بي ام دبليو اي الاول يا يتاهل بي ام جي سي ليج مو فاينل. لا مش بطل بي ام ار سي بطل بي ام دبليو اي. فلوكي مش لاعب جديد مش جديد يعني اخر 6 اشهر 7 فلك لا فلوكي يا فلوكي تبع الفامباير لا قديم عبالي تقول فلك اكيد إيه. اسطنبول 100% له فرصة طبعا له فرصة هو متصدر نقاط بأرابيا له جائزة هاي من ذكريات الدوري السعودي حبايبي هاي من الأشياء اللي أحبها جدا هاي خلي بيها مي تاخذ نص لتر جميلة انه تخليك انت وقاعد على البي سي تشرب لك 2-3 تضامن باليوم تشرب لتر ونص بس من هاي المي صحي ها.
Now, getting anyone out of that is another question, but at least it's a smart position to be at. MAB, they are totally prepared for that. That's why they go towards the left, and they're now in the compound within the circle. Now, speaking about getting in the circle, STE and DRS, inseparable.
ملا اندرسكور ناي الملا اندرسكور ناي قطني طلع من فيز يب ماي اكيد حبيبي شو وين راح الماوس اكشن اخ يا اكشن اخ على زمان اكشن
It's going to be tough because Leo's waiting on the other end. And both teams might go down by Alter Ego to get on.
Alter Ego. يلا يا روزماري. لا هذا النوك خطأ هذا النوك كارثة. يلا بوتيتو. يلا بوتيتو. حلوة يا بوتيتو. يلا روز يلا روز. لا ما تنوك حلوة ما تنوك. يلا روزماري بوش. الجنايات ما يخليه يتقدم. يعني اوكتا من بعيد بوش يعطي خليه يعطي كفر يا اخي بوش يا ابو تيتو خليه يعطي كفر هو من هناك طبعا هو ذا بسموك على نفسه فاهم وهذا نفسه باي سموك فايز شالوت تي حلو اوكتا نايس اوكتا جي جي
But we're moving towards FaZe and T2K and GEEK SLATE at the same vicinity.
Oh, and finally Apex been taken out by Rosemary. And that is 4 points in the back for Alter Ego. But we're coming towards Yogopool. FaZe Clan and T2K. Sundash has a nade in hand. Sundash tosses a nade on the side of FaZe Clan. FaZe Clan would need to get away the nade. Luckily for FaZe Clan, it will not connect. But Momo with the nade on his own. Onto the outside and Sundash knocked
ايش البطولة كبيرة وقيمة جواز قليلة؟ ياهي يا حبيبي بطولة جوازها قديمة. مورمان فايز كلان. تعرف يا تيم من هو حبيبي؟ من هو قلبي قل لي.
Oh, beautifully done by FaZe Clan to defend the compound against the incoming T2K. And now we move over to Box Gaming. And STE drops in now on his knees. Goes through on the other side. But looks like he want to pick up his teammate. The smoke will be tossed out. But time is not on their side, Choo. They are all on the outside of the circle.
I see that STE do have the upper hand. If the circle happen to be shrinking, the Blues are closing on their side. It's going to be Top ticketed again, as per usual. Gosu on the other end being spotted out by Top. But he has to wait for the right time for him to pick out. Chip half HP of it. But Leo waiting on the high ground.
نو توني كي يلعب مع الانفينيتي انفينيتي جا من لا مع الفامباير سوري جا من انفينيتي فريق عربي ما ادري والله ما دفتهم تحشون والله ما دفتهم توني كي طلع من الفيز وراح وين؟ راح للفامباير ونوزي طلع من والله انتهت علي. توني كي طلع من الفيز ونوزي طلع من الانفينيتي. وين راحوا؟ للفامباير. حتى لا لا يخرب علي عقلي يعني لين دخل ترى. يلا توبي.
Playing alongside with the blue zone. It's not his best friend. Magosu just have to settle down. It's playing out the healing game. But on the side of those high ground, spotted out top.
توب آخر أمل
للSTE. DRS gatekeeping on the north or towards the east side.
ستون دي لعب اليوم.
Vampires and AGI8 at the same time.
Oh, liquid, high ground.
ليكويد هذا بس مو ليكويد البي تي ار. ليكويد ثاني. اي يا اخي انا اموت من اللاعب اللي يتنوك هذا النوك اتجنن مدي اموته يعني لان كارثه هذا النوك كارثه يعني. شوفه البليد لا بليد سكوب 3 بليد شتري اي كيو داخ روزميري من هناك يتونس عليهم. والله اتخبل من هذا. منو؟ كويست يابط ولا نوزي الرافنجلاو ستونز. تخيل توني كي قاعد يلعن ابو القوه فامباير ياخذ قاعد توني كي وتلعب. يا الله ما والله فريق خرافي. درس والله انطى درس لكل تيمات العالم فامباير. فريق جامع $700,000 ب10 أيام ويروح ويجيب احسن لاعبين بتايلاند احسن اثنين. والله درس سينا سيرتاني مدرب الفامباير اسمه سيرتاني وجابوا مدرب جابوا عناصر جديده تو ستوب صار مساعد مدرب فيز مورمان فينتوريس وزانكس ليو دز امها على هذا الايم. توقعاتك MVP PMRC صعب والله صعب في دورين في تيكزي وماتيتش في كيتش في اسماء في كثير.
Still trying to come up to the high ground. Stone shoots on the kick slave. Mika managed to jump away to safety.
Mika
currently down. Stone needs to save him, but before that, he needs to take out the entire of Kick Slate.
One that will be stopping FaZe is going to be maybe from the back line. Kick Slate a bit thankful and have a bit of
اقول لك جابوا اسماء مدربين يعني طاقم جديد فني دربهم اسمه السيرتاني.
To a side of Mika, another name being tossed around at the exact position where he spot him out just now. But lucky
بالبريك اروح اتغدى ايش تقولون؟
The corners there.
صار غدا؟
Snipes spotted out MAB players trying to take advantage of his position. But FaZe trap in between. It's going to be Snipes down.
That's going to be the third point for Geek Slate.
أكثر لاعب كونسيستنت كوبس كيتش صح ريفن كلاو فلوك ينزل شوف هذا ما جاي يقدر يسوي شيء. نيد واحدة نوزي. نيد طيارية لازم فاهم يعني تنزل تنوك. حلوة جي خلاص خلصوا وجاهم العم ستون. فامباير خفافيش. لا مو وقت النوك ابد. عم اللعبة ستون. اويلي القوة ستون. كيتش اعظم ما انجبت تركيا. اتفق معك.
Well, to add on to the glory of Vampire Esports, they will still have all their members alive after the pickup. And now
حلوة زينكس. اون زينكس. يلا خلصوا انطل جيم فامباير ريحهم يلا. شكرا لو مقلل بس. DRS جو مخلف.
What a surprise shot from that high ground.
اي يعني شوف الفريق بست لاعبين تباوع كله مرعب. هذا الفريق اللي يريد يفلش الدنيا يعني. اجا فلوكي على التريجو. روزميري جايب 4 كلات. روزميري بوجه المدفع. روزميري يا روزميري انطي مجال يا روزميري. حلوه غير مكانه. حلو ارفع دمك. رمك لا وكل نوك غريب عجيب من دا يصعد الجسر. انطوا مجال روزميري ترى يعذبكم اذا ما شلتوا روزميري يعذبكم. روزميري بالعربي يعني اكليل الجبل. هذاك النبته الاكليل الجبل. يلا نيد بوتيتو.
Can you imagine how frustrating it is tossing out all those things but can't connect any at all? It is just this hill that is just so tricky.
واو القوة يا ستون. لا بارك الله بالضعف. راح ريف الريفن كلاو. شوف فايتين هناك. انا اشوف اللي يفوز من هذا الفايت هو يفوز بالجيم.
Tried to pin him down, but it's just difficult with his rock.
لا.
There's going to be Stone dropping the big one. This is Agobi on top of that, leaving Alter Ego with 2 players. But they do have those rock pushing in, coming from Empires, trying to finish them off. The Blues are coming in as well.
حلوة بوتيتو. اكلوه طبوا عليه. اكلوه هم كليناهم. ذولا جنوب شرق اسيا ضد جنوب اسيا. يلا اجل فامباير من هناك. جيانتي وين جيانتي واقع على الارض. دلتايكس اخر لاعب. ولي يتقدم ولي توب نهايه انفجار مغادر. هنا لاعبين فريق المابا ينهون على DRS. شوف هذا الرولز راح ياخرهم. ينطي مجال فامباير يتقدم. خلص الجيم. كل واحد صار بفريق يعني. اي سي واي طلع. ما اعرف اذا جادلس وزيولو بعدهم موجودين صراحه ما متابع اخبارهم. نايس خلصوا. اجى الفامباير مسيطر على الهاي جراوند ياخذ الجيم. منغوليا بس مشكلة المنغوليا كلهم 3 مليون بشر. من يجيبون هالكم هذا من اللاعبين ما ادري يعني. ستون جايب 7 كلات. يا ساتر يا ستون.
9 eliminations. So far the highest we've seen it was Alter Ego at 12. But can they get more? Can they finish off at least at 13 here? If they wiped out the entirety, maybe even 12 the most right now, because that may be left with only 3 players. Wally, Kisa and Baron tried to spread out, but the problem is they do have the highest standing point from inside of Empires. How to bridge in? They're trying to cook the nade and get themselves into the center. But if they can drop one, it's going to be a huge entry for the side of MAB.
Yeah, all they need to do at this point is just to wait for MAB to make that first move, because there's still a couple of members on the outside.
لو جاي نوزي. يلا نوزي تونس بوحده نوزي. خلوا ستون يجيب 10 كلات. يجيبون ذول 3 كلهم. الله هلا تريبي وانت بلا بخير. ابو كيار اريد اتغدى بس مره بسوي سمك اليوم ان شاء الله. كلكم يعني تاكلون من اكل الجنه ان شاء الله. يلا لفنكلاو جي جي وين رايح انت حبيبي؟ هو بارون هذا نسى نفسه. فلوكي سانهوك بيها مجال بيها مجال بيها مجال والله صار بيها مجال. يلا ني ثانيه ني ثانيه ني ثانيه. يلا كايسي كايسي
Can it maybe pull off the incredible now against Vampire Esports? Fluke could be picked up by his teammates.
حلو نايس وقع ستون. بوش بوش تقدم بوش بوش ما راح تخلي الفوق يريف. حلوه هاي المولي حلوه هاي المولي حلوه هاي المولي. يا الله بيها فما حاجه فما حاجه فما حاجه فما حاجه فما حاجه على اليسرى فما حاجه على اليسرى. فوت على الرفن فوت على الرفن كلاو. هذا اقوى ويلي اقوى ويلي اقوى من رفن كلاو. ويلي اقوى ويلي اقوى ويلي اشتعلت اشتعلت الدنيا. منغوليه تايلانديه النهايه الاسطوريه. منغوليا اجل عام اجل عام اجل عام اجل عام اجل عام اجل عام. لكن 1 في 1 1 في 1 كايسي 1 في 1 كايسي. اولا لا اولا لا اولا لا اولا لا كايسي. هي منغوليا منغوليا منغول. الله 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 الله. تحيه 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 للفريق المنغولي. الله 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 الله. برافو 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 انكرويابل لمو برافو. برافو برافو حبايب. ترى اتخذت هذا تشيكن على فامباير يعني ما ماخذه علي. بعدهم موجودين اتش سي. منغوليا اب. اخوان اروح اتعشى واجيكم ها اتغدى سوري. ثواني 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 بس.
Outclassed, outplayed, outsmart. And that was incredibly fun to watch. But who would have thought? That was a really ridiculous terrain to clutch it out against TV4.
And you know what? When it was a 4v3, you call out, okay, Vampire, they're done, they get chicken dinner. But at some point, it's like, oh, it's not chicken dinner until it's official. And then they just did the comeback. It's crazy.
You have to give it to Wally.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he just...
Wally. Where's Wally, they say?
Oh,
he's
man.
there taking the chicken dinner.
He's creating a big wall for the side of Empires. They cannot take that chicken. But so far, the most numbers that we saw for elimination was also EGET 12. So I'm not sure if there's anybody else to topple off that chart for now, because we didn't actually give enough attention on how much the side of Wall and MAB do secure themselves for their elimination. But so far, it wasn't a double digit. But I'm not sure when it comes to the ending when it tallied it up.
مرة قالت لي دقيقتين. قبل شوي قالت لي 4 دقائق. ها؟ نوزي صاير احتياطي يقول لك نوزي ما ادري شنو. لا والله نوزي لعوب ترى عادي ما صار جيم يا معودين. اي والله حبايب خلينا نقوم نصلي. صار نتغدى ونصلي.
What an epic clash that was. It was a battle of who is the king of the mountains. And by the end of it, and maybe Esports Mabetex, they've been able to overwhelm the rest of all these players that's been holding on for the longest time, and they were outnumbered. My goodness. On the go, I really want to hear your thoughts.
خليه.
They did well. I was laughing at the Baron's movement. He was walking from behind, trying to attack them from the back, flanking. It didn't work out, so I thought, okay, Vampire won this game.
ما افتهم شنو champions BMPL. يقول لك who will climb to the championship title in the 2023 PMWI main tournament and secure a slot for their respective region in the 2023 PMGC. Stay tuned for the thrilling showdown at the PMWI download. يعني يقول انه خلاص صار رسميا انه بطل 2023 PMWI المين راح يلعب ب PMGC ليج. فاهميني؟
MAB sitting pretty at the top with 21 points, topping off the record back in Sanhok this time. But when we look into the results itself, on second place as well as third, we see a tie between Vampire Esports as well as Alter Ego. Despite Alter Ego crashing out earlier than maybe a few other teams,
تحتاج أعيد لكم المعلومة لو خلاص صارت عندكم.
points in order to keep themselves afloat on the top three.
Yeah, we spoke about this. Elimination point is way important right now. If you can get elimination point and you don't get chicken dinner, it's totally fine. Because the point difference between third place and first place is only 5 points. And if AE can repeat this for the
يلا هروح أتعشى وأجيكم
most probably they do, will be able to catch up with MAB or even STALWART Esports. For now, player of the match goes to Wally. He definitely deserves this.
Absolutely. The IGL of MAB have been able to just run it all the way forward, challenging the entire squad of Vampire Esports by the end of it all. And usually when you go into the final circle, you might have actually second guess, I might just want to hold back and not really push all the way. Wally was doing it all by himself. Sure, you were talking about Baron trying to open up some room over the bottom, which, you know, he did not have good results with. But Wally, he says, I'm just going to go straight in, and he got everybody out.
Yeah, I think he's not doing the whole overthinking. He just feel like he can move forward and kill them, and he did. Right now, overall ranking, MAB will be leading the chart with 25 points.
Yeah, and followed on by that, we also do have NBES that will be on second place as well, only 5 points shy. Meanwhile, you start to see a number of Southeast Asian teams to be on the first 8 as well, with Vampire, of course, finishing on second inside of Erangel with 17 points, followed by Alter Ego on fourth place. STALWART this time gets pushed down after, you know, a little bit of that run-in in that early game. And I was keeping my eyes on STE. They were also trolling with DRS for most part in this game, where, you know, they were kind of stuck wherever they go, where they were forced to actually pick up a fight. Meanwhile, of course, a lot of all these other teams will also have to play catch-up, but good things to see is that everybody has been hunting out on this elimination due to this new format that, hey, maybe you start to realize that sometimes you got to take the right fights. And speaking of that, you know, Hill definitely have taken a lot of all these early trades, and so far it did not really prove to yield great results. And we start to see Hill, this great team from Thailand that has done so well back in their league, this time seemingly struggling.
I think they did struggle in their own PMPL in Thailand recently. I think Vampire still did the best with the new upcoming team in Thailand League. But for now,
yeah, overall we'll definitely continue on that topic. But you guys have already joined us from the get-go. I believe that you guys might want to actually get a little bit of a rest. So we'll give you guys a couple of minutes to grab your water, get some snacks, and we'll continue on with our upcoming round in match 3.
To Dynaground. Hello, my name is Owen and I'm your professional Dyna rider. Today I'll be teaching you how to ride a dinosaur and win that chicken dinner. Now, let's begin. Relax, don't be scared. That's the sound of the mighty G-Rex. First dinosaur encounter. I want you to meet my girl Vicky. My sweet little raptor. Look how cute she is.
Isn't she lovely?
Vicky or raptors. They're the most vicious and fastest beasts in the world. To ride a dinosaur, first you must build trust. They are carnivores. They eat meat. You have to feed them off. They will think that you are their friend, not food. Once they trust you, they will be a great companion. However, taming a dinosaur can be seen. Experience dinosaur taming and riding the all-new version of PUBG Mobile Dino Ground. Explore Dino Settlement and Wild Reserve and embark on a prehistoric adventure in the Battle Royale game. Come and play now.
Well, we promise you that the break won't be all too long, and welcome back once again to the PUBG Mobile Regional Clash. It's Southeast Asia versus South Asia, and so far as it goes, 2 chicken dinners have now belonged to South Asia, and both are basically in the hands of 2 different Mongolian teams. And that being said, we're going to go for another round inside of Erangel again. So on the go, of course, so far, are you liking what you're seeing from Erangel?
Yes, everything is going according to plan. And before that, we'll look at our prediction first. And I'll be picking AGI8 and DRS will be for you.
Yeah, I love that we actually switch things around, like compared to back in Sanhok. And overall, I've seen that DRS really prioritize on positioning so far in order to get really far into the game. But that scenario back in Gatka Mountain, that was maybe a little bit too hot to handle. I need to hear your thoughts on Aegon I8 as well, because this team has been doing phenomenal in the early game, getting a lot of frags, and well, on our screen, we got this amazing data that we have comparing both regions, Southeast Asia as well as South Asia.
Yeah, 56 total elimination for Southeast Asia, 64 for South Asia. I think for Southeast Asia, I think it will go higher and higher as the game's being played, especially for Erangel. If the circle that we predict, which is the Gatka area, 1, and also the SPM, happens again, I think most teams will start to maybe play from a different direction. All Southeast Asian teams, the big ones, are playing the same way. And that's not good because they're going to meet with each other. Vampire, FaZe Clan, GEEK, SLATE, that thing happened at the Gatka Hill just now. I think tomorrow onwards, for Saturday and Sunday as well, things will be slightly different. They are playing the game the way they should play the game. I liked it a lot. For South Asia team, I would say all these teams are good when it comes to firepower. DRS more to positioning, but I don't think it's kind of helping out DRS because we saw them. They did well just now. Position-wise, everything good.
Indeed.
Point, only 1.
Yeah, we definitely want to see what more improvements will they have heading into our third match over here. So it's going to be back to Choo Choo as well as Sir Cloud to bring you our upcoming match in Erangel.
So if what's mentioned by our analysts that tomorrow will be different, so you got to stay tuned to tomorrow as well, and also to the rest of the other days up until Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. So this is a PMRC. Do you expect something different as what's mentioned by the analysts?
Feels like it is a very trapping question for me because I personally don't want to. Because I'm loving what I'm seeing here right now.
So we keep it as it is.
Yeah, I wish so. Because nobody speaks too much, or nobody talks too much about teams like MBE, like MAB example, and they are putting up such a stellar performance, sublime even in the state. But right now we're walking back into Erangel. Will be the same fate as the Mongolian taking the reign right now? Let's head into it. Wow.
Wow.
We don't see that kind of swerve.
Oh, that kind of swerve.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that kind of swerve, a fun fact, that kind of swerve is already in, like, if you spectate a regular PUBG mobile game, it's already there.
Yeah, but we don't get to see it too much in the tournament. That was really cool, by the way.
Yeah, you just need to switch it at the right timing, like really, really early. So, but yeah, so that's where we need to say thank you to our observers and producers for capturing the moments for us, because all that is, of course, the things that make the game beautiful.
Yeah, I miss that kind of very outstanding observing. I love how things going on right now. But speaking of this, just now, there was kind of a rare circle, by the way. A very 100% Gaka Mountain circle. We don't see that too often.
Yeah, 100% Gaka Mountain. Even like in recent PMPLs and all that, we don't really get to see that. So it's nice to see that. But irregardless, I'll still be interested to see whether we get a military-based circle. You know, just put it out there. Well, we want to see how the teams overcome such a circle, you know.
That would be fun to watch, especially when it was really awkward. But usually it
يابا السلام عليكم.
the last few days.
Oh yeah.
الله حيو.
The first few, we give it a bit of a generous circle, right? I feel like it's going to be a very generous one as well. But prove me
والله
wrong,
ضربت
it'll be
ذيك
very
السمكة
generous,
زينة
you know, very
بالنية.
generous circle, but not many teams
لعيونكم
are
والله.
actually on the map due to the flight path itself.
الله يعافيكم.
اخوان
شاي مهيل يا مرة.
شوفوا
الرجال بالبيت من يقول سوي سمك تقول صار.
I'm liking the theme for this PMRC this time, right? We are
تقول صار تأمر أمر ملاوي. شاي مهيل.
Okay, number one, you still get a
بس لا تجيب لي شاي لبتون بينهم.
as an individual team, but you know, all these stats just make the theme go well.
Yeah, it's like numbers don't lie.
أعوذ بالله.
Yeah, well, no,
أعوذ بالله خالد.
in the comments, the numbers don't lie.
لا جد.
It's still the first day. Still the first day, so don't get too strong in the chat. But
مصدقين ها؟
the side of all the
مصدقين.
teams, so far,
كلهم
a lot of
مصدقين.
South Asian teams, especially the top two, taking over by
صدق خالد لا خالد لا تخليني أشك بنفسي يعني.
The first two chicken dinners, but Vampires have been consistent as well because they're placing themselves third and fourth and consistently got themselves at the top 5 for the last 2 games.
خالد فسر لي هاي المقولة اللي قلت لي إني أكل السمك. إيه لا غسلت والله. غسلت. ابو نسيبه وشامه متى موعد بي ام دبليو 11/7. يا حبيبي غيوث مشتاق لك انا جدا.
We need to leave it like maybe to the last day until be like, oh, who's really dominating the charts, because that time things might change, but not as big, or the gap won't be as small as this.
نشوف.
Maybe during the third day we can see some domination by certain teams, but back towards the side of Erangel so far, STE surprisingly have not been. We see a lot of top, and that's it for me coming up from STE so far. That he survived the longest. They always do so much heavy lifting for the team.
طبعا بوكس ذولا مو نفسهم اللي راح يشاركون ببطولة البي ام دبليو اي، لان ذيك التشكيلة كلها طلعت راحت لي فريق اسمه الشان.
Now, you know what? Looking at box, I kind of miss SLD or DX here as well.
Well, technically, Box buy over the entire SLD lineup.
Yeah.
So you are watching SLD. Yeah, you just need to change their jerseys. Yeah, but yeah, these areas.
ولا بطولات قريبة مشارك بها النجمة يوم 20 ولا شنو معناه؟ لاعب تراكينج هو تتبع معناه بالعربي، معنى الكلمة يعني التتبع. والتتبع يعني هو رايح يسوي تراكينج يتبع السيارة، يعني ينزل لاعب من السيارة. رمضان الملا شنو مشكلة تيم نجمة كل مرة تاخذ توسون؟ والله كاكا مشكلة تكتيكية ومشكلة نفسية. اوف صمطة. جي هاي الريلود مالته 5 سنوات هذا السلاح. ماب خنقو سبورتر من بعيد قال لهم بس قال لهم بالي هم نفس هذول راح يشاركون في ام دبليو اي. لا مو نفس هذول، شلون نفس هذول؟ لا تخبوني.
and still full squad. Perfect.
البوكس اللي راح يشارك هو الفريق اللي اخذ مركز ثاني بالسوبر ليج اللي هو كان تريزمي ونواز وكابون. هذا اللي ادري بيه، ما ادري اذا اكو شيء تغيرات صارت. يعني ذولا فريق كلهم جديدين، ذولا كلهم جديدين.
How should I put it? Elevation for MAB. So they have the view, they have the higher ground than T2K. So you give them all that, plus they're already aggressive attribute. That's what they can do.
لا شوي نسمع إذا يقولون شيء حلو. لا مش من الصين، من منغوليا.
There's no backward, there's no left or right.
متى رحلتك للرياض؟ إن شاء الله دعينا. بعد ما أدري والله متى رحلتي. إن شاء الله. توني كي تريد رأيي. اسأل الناس الموجودين قول لهم شنو رأيكم توني كي، خلي يجاوبك. لاعب نوب ما يدمج أصلا حرام يلعب ببجي موبايل وبيج فريق.
Take over the world, because one season you see Mongolia debuting with STALWART Esports, and they already got like what, number 3 in the world, and then the next season it was Zeus.
لا أنا الشاقة وياك والله لاعب عظيم أكيد.
And then you have IHC who did fairly well, fairly okay.
وين شوبكس ليش ما يلعب قاعد احتياط هو وتوني كي؟ ما أدري إذا توني كي دخل هذا الجيم، لا ما أتوقع.
So it's always whenever a new team from Mongolia comes in, it's not only coming in to fill the spot.
لازم تحمل.
And for MAB to have this kind of
ادعينا نتوافق بس خالد.
with this kind of
فلوكي موجود اسمه FTH.
now and the start to this round like this, well, teams of Mongolia, they're not that big, but when they produce new talent, it's up there.
They're not
إن شاء الله إن شاء الله نشتري لعبة جديدة خالد.
So far right now that what we can see, and they are scary, I agree.
إن شاء الله
and so far they're not showing any sign of slowing down at all, coming up from the side of the Mongolian teams. But back towards the Southeast Asia team, how do you think they want to cope with this? They have to adapt either way.
Let's see. Okay, looking at the bottom half, right?
صير من سكان الرياض الغالية.
YOODO Alliance. Number 16 to number 12 are all Southeast.
مو مثل قبل، كل لاعب يعني ينزل مستواه، ما راح يظل طول عمره هو النجم. صوتك قليل، هسه صوتي زين.
Now in terms of adapting, I would say
إن شاء الله يا رب. لازم أنت على صفحة سكاكا وعرعر برازيليا كوتازينيو ما افهم هاي الاغاني ترى. يعني صح اشجع الفلسفه بس مو لدرجه انه افهم اسباني يعني او برتغالي سوري.
The one I'm looking at right now, mostly in the case of Southeast Asian team, they are trailing each other's rotation. So
نجم مشارك؟ لا هاي البطولة لا. أتوقع يتدرب على تليفونات الجديدة. فامباير ممكن والله. STE جاي يلعبون بالموبايلات الجديدة، هذا اللي أعرفه 100%. يوم 8 7 لازم كل الفرق واصلة للسعودية. 9 و10 عندهم رهس.
Never mind. It's going to be the potato heels of Pachinki.
أكشن قبل الزواج هو مثل أكشن بعد الزواج، يعني أكشن قبل البيبي هو مثل أكشن بعد البيبي. لا هذا رأيي. أنا أفكر هاي السنة نجمة يسوون شيء حلو بطولات العالم. كوبس موجود ممكن والله كاك. ولا أدخل قاعة ويدخل. ما أفتهم والله شكله. من ترشح ياخذ BMW 1000 أو 7 ممكن.
So if you put everyone there, then you need to be prepared. Like, oh, the other side, someone's going to come in. But at least there's like enough elevation, enough hills.
إيه بس قاعدين احتياط.
Shot from either side. But still, it's someone in your house. In other words.
Speaking of house, definitely DRX cannot even knock STE's house because they barely even bridge in here. STE even shot them down from afar. The mid-range fight now left with Gayante trying to just pull all the work for the entire team. They still have one more player which can be killer.
اي مو قلت لك انا ما اعرف هذا الدك اللي تحكي عليه. ابلع اكشن ابلع يا نيس. توب لا توب لا توب نوك. يا اخوان ترى عادي اس تي جاي يلعبون موبايلات جديده. يا حبيبي يا قلبي يا رمضان، طبعا كل تحيه لكل الزملاء. PMGC والله صعبه علاوي. PMGC بعد وين؟ بعد فتره طويله. جيانتي اوه يا اكشن، الله يا اكشن. Because ST is not done with DRS just yet.
Yeah, the long range coming in from Neze on the other side onto Rules. Rules getting away. Managed to get onto safety, and now Icy will pick up Tops, and Tops is back up. So they are back as
اي والله رد علي.
It's not that easy to take down STE, especially when they have the compound with the element.
يا حبيبي يا رمضان، ان شاء الله الفترة الجاية نكون افضل نتطور.
Will they part ways? Will they pull back all the way just for the sake of surviving? It's a bit too early for them to leave just yet. TJK will be one of the team without any
liquid.
Coming from Leo, they're trying to scatter themselves on top of those fields while then
يا اخي الاي اي تدري شنو السبب انه يظهرون بهذا الفريق اخر يجنهم ما ينطيهم مساحة يطلعون بشكل افضل. هو يلعب لفترة شهر كامل مع ريجنا وراها يطلع من ريجنا، ولا هو فريق والله تباوع يعني عنده اسماء ممتازة. DRS فريق يعرف يجيب نقاط بس هذا شغلته يعني. هذا نظام النقاط القديم، لا طبعا الجديد. دوك ابيكس ايست.
So with that kind of situation, maybe not just yet. But you want to talk about teams that possibly might fight. I would say teams on the right will be interesting.
والله انا جايب جديد اريد منظمه معروفه يسحبونه فد نصيحه. اول شيء شيل فكره بباله منظمه معروفه تسحب، ويشتغل على نفسه لانه مو يوم وليله توصل. تفكر راح اقول لكم شغله ها. سيالس لاعب التركي ظل سنتين هو يلعب ويحاول سوري كالسي يحاول لعب فرق منا الى انه اجوا ويا الاس تجيب البي ام سي او. خلال فترة 497 يوم طلع 2004 دولار 200,000 و7000 دولار تحديدا. يعني لو تقيسه تقريبا باليوم 4000 دولار 400 دولار. هو ظل سنتين يحاول الى انه وصل للاس تي جي. فانت كلاعب هم حاول تدرب تطور، تابع اللاعبين العالميين، شوف كيف يتخذ المواقف، حاول تتفاعل مع السوشيال ميديا. وانا دائما نصيحتي لكل لاعب ابتعد عن المونتاج، نزل مقاطع خام. اني وغيري نهتم بالمقاطع الخام اكثر ما اهتم بالمونتاج والحركات. وتفاعل مع السوشيال ميديا كثير كثير كثير. تيك توك، انشر على انستغرام. اي بالريج العراقي اكو فد حاله شاذه فاهمني، بس من السوشيال ميديا قد تصل لفريق عراقي موجود هو اصلا فاهم. بس قد تاثير النظام الجديد، تاثير النظام الجديد على طريقه لعب 50 إلى 60%.
And for the side of Olio, he tried to give a bit of support fire, but might actually exploit his own position since there's going to be another team, NBE, behind them as well. They are spreading out so wide for YOODO Alliance. I'm not sure if that will work for them just now. Feels like
ايه اكو جزء من كلامك يعني، اكو نسبة معينة من الكلام مؤثرة على الفرق. PMRC العربية، الأفريقية، الأوروبية، التركية يوم 20/7. منو أفضل، توبا أو ريفو؟ والله شوف أنا بالنسبة لي ريفو أفضل من أفضل لاعيبة العالم لما يكون أفضلهم، لكن أنا رجال واقعي وأتكلم بالأرقام. توب باخر 6 اشهر هو الافضل، يعني افضل 3 MVP ورا بعض، MVP PMGC، MVP SA، MVP SA Championship. فأنا رجال أتعامل مع الأرقام فتوب.
We do have 3 team will be gatekeep from the outer circle, maybe even more if you can consider the one that's coming up from the north as well. But GEEK they're straight in the line of sight for damn rude.
ذكر اللاوي.
They're trying to just finish them off by going into
ولا اكو منظمة ماكو فريق ما لعبت وياه وما بيها فايدة. حد ما سويت تيم مستقبل وصلت الدي ام سي وتخربطوا مع الوصل بالاستقلال. مو قلت لك اشتغل على نفسك السوشيال ميديا. نزل سوشيال ميديا كثير. حاول تبني لك شبكة علاقات. لا مو اقدم بيكم والله اكو كثير اقدم مني ترى بالشات يتابعون بطولات وكذا. اكو فريق عربي ينافس فرق عالمية وتيم متوقع ينافس الى الفترة الحالية لا. بالفترة الحالية لا. ينافس لا يكون موجود يحضر يسبب قلق الفرق ينافس يعني ما عندنا فريق عربي بمستوى اداء الاس تي مستوى اداء الالفا 7 مستوى اداء الفا امباير. لك تبقى الظروف قد تكون بشكل انه تساعد فريق على اساس فريق ثاني. ميكش عجب ما يطلع لانه ياخذ راتب وعنده عقد. واتوقع ميكا يعني فرصه لكل فرقنا العربيه صراحه لانه لاعب يحكي انجليزي. مالك نيه تجي تركيا انت اخذت التكت مال البطوله ورحت شلون اجي بعد غيور. من المفترض ان الملا يعني انا ودي صراحه بفد شيء. شايفين فكره البي ام ار سي بين البي ام بي الز تكون بي ام ار سي بين البي ام ان سي فاهم يعني بي ام ان سي سعوديه مثلا 6 بي ام بي ال العراق 6 وبي ام بي بي ام ان سي سعوديه 6 بي ام ان سي العراق 6 وبي ام ان سي هاي الميدل ايست 6 ويلعبون بي ام ار سي على 3 ايام حتى ولو بجائزه بسيطه بس يكون عليها نقل وتغطيه كامله للجمهور على اساس نعرف مواهب منها. اي صمت ابو اجتوب اي سويت نوك توب خلص الداخل توب. لو يا اخي مبينه اكو لاعب ورا واحد ورا يا اس تي اي واحد ورا يا اس تي اي ابو خليل واحد ورا اس تي اي واحد ورا يا عراق. STE for now, but for the others on the other hand, they're not done. As Hill got himself on those vehicles, tried to push themselves right in the center, but Leo was not willing to give it away for free. But they have to leave as well as the Blues are coming in. But we do have another team going out, which is going to be Agon I8.
That was ridiculous. I mean, where were the communication?
ما أنا ما أبني تيم. شوف حتى أقول لك شغلة جوب أنا ما أبني تيم أنا معلق. ومجرد تواجدي مع تيم معين أبنيه وأكون مسؤول عليه يعني يحسب علي. لكن اكو بطولة للريج العراقي ان شاء الله نسوي. اوعدكم بعد البي ام ار سي اسوي بطولة وبدعمها اني شخصيا وبنظمها اني شخصيا بتكون كاملة مكملة دعم مني كاملا لك. بس اني ابني تيم اني لا مستحيل. يا اخي عوفوا يا اخي كرهت الدوك من وراكم سطر التوبز. هكسي بيكون كوتش الفترة الجاية ومحلل. لا بخلي هولندي وعلي ساي ينظموها وهاند كام وشيء كامل نكمل. اوي فلاش شنو هاي دي بي اس دعوفه للدي بي اس وطبوا عليك للهول. شوله يا اخي هسه هاي المسافه دي بي اس ليش هاي المسافه دي بي اس ليش يعني انا هذا اللي يخبلني. ابلع من عمك النوزي ابلع من عمك التايلاندي صلى النمر التايلاندي. اوي لورد بالعراق اتوقع ما ادري والله ما حاكي يا صار فتره وصاني على شغله وسحبت عليه والله. هسه اسويها بالبريك. ولا البي ام سي او بعد البي ام بي ال ما ادري شو البي ام سي شوف لك راعي البطوله وخليها اوف لاين، والله صعبه اوف لاين، تحتاج له مبالغ كبيره، بس ممكن نسويها اونلاين، خلي عليه فد $1000 جائزه. اي جايبين 4 شباب يعني سمعت بهيك شيء ما ادري يعني.
blinded them. Yummy took the advantage to reset first, kept this cool, and won the fight against Hale.
I'm perplexed at this point. That was 2v4. But on the side of Alter Ego, finally finish off Yummy May from Boom. We're left with only 5 players here, with NBeSports still up there as a full squad.
In this kind of open circles to a stage 5, but we're down to 5 teams left.
حبايب حاب اقول لكم انه ان شاء الله يوم الاثنين اكو بطوله البلاي هيرو على جائزه $10,000 راح تكون حلوه كثير. ما شفت اني تركي دز رساله.
Sneaky counters at the back. This is kind of scary to play right now. Feels like a horror movie for most of the players. So many teams creeping up from behind and backstabbing without them realizing it as well. Alter Ego, Octa trying to find any sort of information that he can actually see, but there's just
دبس راح يسوي له نيرفس مو هسه.
divided into 2 ways here, with one little small street in between. Potato taking a small shack on a bit of those low grounds. But we're talking about NBeSports. They scored 1
زون قديم ما ادري اذا زون قديم، لا زون قديم اكيد يعني ما افضل شيء.
Out of the 4 teams, 2 from Mongolia, 1 from Indonesia, 1 from Thailand.
لا مش 30,000 حتى 20,000 اتوقع.
Coming in from that region, but they have to finish up the job just to seal the deal away.
ايه $20,000.
50 more seconds before the zone closes. The rest of NB still on the outside. 4 MV as well, playing by the.
شنو مشكلة النقمة؟ أنا قلتها قبل نفسية بس. دبس حوض الريجن وما يلعبون فيها اتوقع. لا قللوا الدمج تبعه. تمام برجعها يلا. التر ايجو تشيكن تتصدرون. روزماري وقتك هسه روزماري تنوك. 4 ام في والله جود بس مش كثير متابع ال 4 ام في. يا بطولات حبيبي رمضان.
But now it's going to be the 2 teams ahead against each other. Wait a second. NBE is there.
Mondo wants to toss that.
يبقى
going on top of the rooftop. Mondo
هاي السنة يبقى ما ادري سنة اللخ بس هاي السنة يبقى هو عنده عقد وملتزم بعقد.
Divert their attention towards him while the rest of NBeSports will push on the other side. Mormon realizes how important for him to actually not making Mondo to bridge in. They have to keep him at bay. They have to isolate him any way possible. But NBeSports keep the pressure on the side of FaZe. They want to flush the entire FaZe Clan out.
ولا الشعبية لعبة لا بالعكس ارقام هاي البي ام بي ال اكبر من ارقام بي ام بي ال السابقة. كلعبة كاجوال ما اعرف انا هاي ما بس كاي سبورتس بالعكس قاعد تكبر. شعبية وارقام. كيف هو بعد الحكي وين ما يريد يلعب يلعب.
When they start to pick out, if the blue zone just happen to be squeezing and shrinking on their side first, Mondo will be the first one to be out here. But he's trying to flush them out with those nades, forcing them to get out from there. Even trying to force them to just, you know, I'm gonna take your vehicle if you don't get out. But
واحد من البلايرز العالميين.
Mondo now on top of the rooftop, even make it out.
موندو موندو يا موندو.
Now he's trying to just
فايز
make sure they take the
ميلا شيل 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 شيل
لو شيل فيستبول. So the Eagle surprised them, but wait a second, Potato knocked down from afar with a mini 14. Mela with the DBS in hand, waiting for them to make the first goal, waiting for them to come into the compound. And that's where Mela can show how and why he's the king of DBS.
اشوف هذا الفايت والله اركز بيه. على فكره باقي لنا 30 لايك على 200 لايك.
It's a stalemate for NBeSports with FaZe Clan, but they might spot out one in this very small particular window. Try to flush them out with those Molly, tossing it out. Nobody's willing to leave their corners just yet. FaZe stood strong and solidified himself, not willing to even shake themselves out of this compound just yet. As FaZeboy still trying to find any sort of way of entrance here. They cannot have a glimpse on FaZe players, so they are a bit hesitant to make a move. Mormon, big shot down to 30% of health at the backline, and Mundo is chasing him out.
مورمان ما وقع. وقع من بعيد من الطريقة. الطريقة قاعد يتونس هسه. قل جيبوهم 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 هو يمله. صلخه. اوف يا فينتورز. اونزنكس هو اللي شاله مو فينتورز.
Oh, not just waiting. They're already eyeing towards the side of FaZe. Here comes the spray from Potato. A crispy one at that clip, just a tiny bit. With only 10 HP of left. Alter Ego tried to keep the pressure on, not giving any sort of a reset from the side of FaZe. Now 4MB still holding at the sidelines. They're not willing to make the move just yet.
أكثر لاعب انعجبت وحبيت لعبه لكن اعتزل. تراني مو كثير يعني مو بسهولة أن أعجب بالستايل. أنا من الناس اللي تحب ستايل لعب كلاعب ها ركز يعني كلاعب. بلاير يعني برستيج كثير أحب يعني كبلاير برستيج. ريفو أعشق ستايل لعب ريفو. جي كي فيرست أحب ستايل لعب جي كي فيرست الصيني. زفان لور والله هكسي من جينا وتابعنا وفعلا بدينا نحتاج كان له مكان كثير كبلاير يعني. اي والله بقلاوج ايش بيك كبلاير بعيدا عن قياده بلاير بسيج قوي جدا. انا حسيت يا اخي ليش تضحك على يا اخي ليش تضحك على عقليتي؟ ليش تحسسني ان عقليتي غريبه؟ حسسني انه اني يعني ما عقليه شابه. هكسي جميل حلوه الطريقه اولور الطريقه بقى من يسويها دوك راجنر. اعشق لعب اعشق لعبه راجنر اسطوري. نيد بنيد نيد من نيد. يا ولد يا دوك يا ولد يا دوك برافو برافو. والله ما جام البقلاوجي على قصر رقبتي فلا تدخل. أنا ما قلت كعقلية كبلاير أكيد. حسستني يعني طقطق هذه. راس جيمنج شلونهم جايز احنا بنقول لاعب انعجبت بستايل لعبه يعني مو شارك ببطوله وبطولتين ها يعني لاعب صار له سنتين ثلاثه يلعب. مقلاوتشي
but again it's a Mongolian team still winning the 1v1 towards the end. This is ridiculous.
How did they do it? How? It's you know when you want to call it luck you may call it but now
نجمة يلعب يوم 20 حبايب 20 لايك على ال 200 لايك. ليش نجمة ضعيفين بالكلوز؟ لا مو ضعيفين بس قول عندهم مشكلة بإدارة الفايت اقول لك ايه بس ضعيف بالكلوز لا ما اتوقع. يا اخي مو كل شوي واحد جاي لي دك 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 دك. يا اخوان عوفوه عوفوه بس عفونا من انه هو اي جي ال او كلاعب شو ما MVP دوري السعودي هو ولاعب ارقامه حلوه
What just happened?
No idea.
It was, you know, they are way better than a full squad. Every single time they find it in full squad, they are their full power. That's like they have 2 players. That's going to be their final form. But we have to think. We have to ask about the opinions for our analysts after that incredible pull of that chicken dinner again. So toss it back to it.
شنو وجهة نظرك باللعبة الصينية؟ صدقا حتى أكون صادق ياكم. أنا ما كثير متابع الريجن الصيني.
And that makes it 3 chicken dinners for South Asia at the moment, and all of it has been won by Mongolian teams so far. 4 Miracle Vibes have done it.
نجمة ما يلعبون PMWI لأنه لا فازوا بالتصويت ولا فازوا MEA.
In those battles, they have lost out. Southeast Asia have came too close too many times.
Right, I think it's Southeast Asia versus Mongolia for now, right? I mean, they won 3 chicken dinner already. And again, more elimination point. This time around 23 points for 4MV.
يختارون شنو؟
And again, we're seeing all these 1v1.
هنا نوبة يلغى يتواصلون بعد ما واجههم اللاعب التايلندي أكيد الصيني. أكيد يتواصلون باللغة الصينية. ما راح يتواصلون باللغة غير صينية. ليش؟ هسه تقولين أنت.
In such a phenomenal way as well, where we see Doc really doing everything possible till the very final moment. Whoever lands the grenade first will have a certain upper hand, but Doc, he's just maybe like a split second faster, and then after that, look how swiftly he actually moves out of the trees, even despite him soaking some damage first, and you can see how much he's been able to contribute in
شو قط ثاني ترى IGL فاهمين؟
46% when it comes down to.
ما نعرف اللغة التايلندية والصينية قريبة على بعض. لا والله ما نعرفها.
That's 40% with only
هو معار من
Imagine added up with the rest as well, because we last see this team have ended up with
لا والله نتفق بيناتنا على الزي واكو مثلا دريس كود معين يعني زي معين مثلا يقول لك اريده بزنس كاجوال مش كاجوال ولا فورمال فل اصلا ليه ما لعبوا يوم ولا فهمت كيف يطون
10 to 15 bullets didn't hit him at all.
اخوان بطولة PMWI نسختين اول ستارز عن طريق التصويت بلس اكو بطولة اسمها PUBG موبايل شو داون بين كوريا واليابان تأهل 1 نقاط كوريا تأهل 1 البلد المستضيف الR8 وايضا ايضا اكو بطل النسخة السابقة. هذول راح يلعبون 18 فريق يلعبون 3 ايام 18 مباراة يتأهل من عندهم 6 يلعبون ضد 10 فرق فازت ب الشامبيونشيب الخاص بها.
It's kind of scary to see STALWART Esports being the worst Mongolian team at 7th place.
For the moment,
yeah, for the moment, like all.
ولا تعرف فرانكو لاعب ناز بطولات وعراقي يعني جزء اعرفه اذا اشوفه بس يعني ما جاي يحضرني هسه بس اكيد اعرفه اذا اشوف فرق تأهل في بطولة BMGC لحد الان ما واضح الطريقة والله ما اعرفه صدقا يعني يجوز مثلا شايفه ببطولات شايف حسابه بس والله ما متابع كثير. هلو جناوي نجمة ما يقدر يلعب BMW انتهى.
Yeah, I love that you actually brought up about pacing, because by stage 6 majority of all these teams were already wiped out, and then when we take a look at, you know, some of all the best performing
اخوان ما نجيب طاري اللاعب بس والله ما اعرفه يعني.
And look in comparison when it comes down to eliminations, almost symmetrical, where of course 4MV just got the final guy out there. He could have actually been AE in that instance if they actually wanted. But damage output though, look at Alter Ego go. Probably the highest offered
انه راح يكون بطل PMWI.
AE managed to get a lot of damage, but it's not, they're unable to convert them to elimination point because it's all the long range shots coming out from the players. Again, one more downside for Alter Ego just now for the game, they lost Rosemary too early. he deals the most damage for Alter Ego, like by miles apart compared to
يقول
Octa and
يقول
any
التر ايجو
other
خسر
players
روزمري
in
من
Alter
البدايه
Ego. But
لذلك
they
اثر
lost him
عليهم
the earliest. There were 3 players.
ما
He was
فازوا
dead.
يوم ولا مستعدين
And I think
البطوله
if he
الرسميه
was
بتاع
there,
الحقيقه حبيبي الله
things could
يسعدك.
have been different.
نايف
Octa
القحطاني النجم
is
متى بيوصل
not
الرياض
about
عشان
name.
بي ام دبليو ما راح العب بي ام
Rosemary,
دبليو هاي
Rosemary is
النجم
built different.
يوصل عشان
That
يلعب بي ام ار
guy
سي
is, I would say,
منغوليا
is
تصدر
maybe
جيك ينحرم بطولات
at
كثيره
top
بالاخير جاب
level
بطوله
or
اخيره
even
هذا كان قسم شيء
even
على العموم
slightly higher.
جاء قسم
Probably
التوفيق
so, and of course, well, that also
وطوروا
leaves us
نفسهم
with
اكيد
one
هو ضايج
more
على فلوس مال
Erangel
البطوله
matchup
اكيد
to
ضايج
go.
على فلوس
So far, it's been
اخوان
on a
فلوس
streak
بالطبيعه
for South Asia, so I'm pretty sure you guys from the region that's supporting them will be super happy about it. Southeast Asia, I'm pretty sure that there's still a lot of gas in the tank, especially we've seen, FaZe Clan on the previous Erangel have been doing decently well alongside with Vampire Esports, and then
لا بالعكس كنا فاهمين يعني
currently is the top performing team from Southeast Asia. So you did mention
حبيب لورد
Rosemary
انت
has to
بالخير
survive, but what are some other
ممكن
Southeast
ياخذون
Asian
PMRC
team names that you think that bears a really decent chance of going to this one?
جمهور اذا ما قدموا بي ام ار سي جمهور زعلان عليهم كثير
20k not playing. We're not sure if you're gonna play for the whole entire 4 days for the PMRC, but if he's there, maybe Vampire. Maybe they could have gotten a chicken dinner at the Gatka Hill, right?
Yeah, of course, we definitely do miss him for the moment because he have always put up such a good showing. But
يا اخي ما يجي للمينا اصلا هو لاعب كوري قاعد اقول انه هذا لاعب بس طبعا ما ينافس كوبس على تراكنج قاعد نحكي يعني الناس قاعد تحكي وياي على هذا اللاعب الكوري اللي قصدت اللي نشرته بس هذا اللي انا دا اقصد لانه هذا اللاعب يعني من باب مزحه هذا اللاعب راح ينافس كوبس على تراكنج وانا قلت يبدو انه هنالك لاعب سينافس سين مستقبليه على التراكنج اللي هو تتبع اللاعب من السياره افضل لاعب في كوريا الجنوبيه هوكسي بهذه السنه من مواليد البي
kind of suit DRS play style. So I'm expecting them to
حاول انه يعني نوعيكم على لاعبين
most often than not we do see that DRS do secure quite a number of ranking points. Also, I could definitely see why you're still favoring them overall. Meanwhile, Vampire Esports, I've seen a lot coming out of Ravenclaw from some of all these past couple of rounds, and it's actually great to see him actually step up where, most often than not you see names like Flukiv showing up. Of course, without Tony K here, I still think that the dynamics is still pretty much solid, but of course, we'll definitely have to let them have their action to do all the talking. And speaking of getting into talking mode, it's back to Choo Choo as well as Sir Cloud to bring you to the next game.
هلا حبايبي الصوت يزين اضحك طبعا اضحك ما بدي نديص عاش خالد ها اتفقنا تبلع هيرو لا بس هيرو هم نيص خالد هيروز قال بطولة عربية فهو متأكد كل بطولات العربية بين الرقبة نيص يتلاعب بلا الكلمات هيرو وش رايك في ساتان الفنان؟
So that is the trend that we're starting to see, like as games go by, right? We got to see the difference between the South Asia teams and the Southeast Asian.
English.
And I guess that's also the whole point of the PUBG Mobile Regional Clash, so that these teams can learn from each other, and everyone else watching can also learn like, oh, there's the difference. Wherever you're watching this, ladies and gentlemen, whether you're from South Asia or Southeast Asia, I mean, it's a discovery for all of us.
So far, what we've seen here coming from South Asia region, they have been dominating over Erangel. Now, even though it's different teams, definitely have way more understanding when it comes to the fundamentals of how important those last few circles are. And they've been flawlessly clutching out 2v4 all this while, multiple times.
لا
not
بعد
just one, not just twice, maybe even
اي والله
more
فرحنا
after this, because
الساتان
we'll be heading to the
اذا لي اجي تركيا يعني
Do you think there's a chance we might end up the entire day with all the Mongolian
يا اخي قاعد نطق
To a certain extent, I want to see that.
Same.
Yeah, so that there is an interesting story to tell. Yeah, but right now the only Mongolian team without a chicken dinner is going to be STE. So I wonder if STE will get it next. Like then they'll be like, oh, because it's also about like if you're within the Mongolia region, you also be like, hey, everyone else got chicken dinner except us. Cannot like that, right? So I'm sure they'll be motivated to get their own chicken dinner after this.
And that's a scary feat that one of the best teams in the world, STE, struggles here. And these are the teams that nobody given them enough attention to. If STE struggles, Cloud.
I think they look like they're struggling. It's because all the other chicken dinners are Mongolian teams. If it's like, oh, you got a mix of like some from Nepal, some from Thailand, Indonesia, and all that, then maybe STE won't look so struggle. But let's see if they struggle here.
I always love those. You know, it kind of reminds us when we have our flights going to a different place entirely. We swear when we just taking off. But when it comes to taking off this map,
طبعا انا قاعد احكي ومسوي مايك في ميوت فاهمين؟
So far we have very towards the left side of the circle. We have got circle before, and then we had sort of around the Pachinki Hills. And where do we land next? So far it's always been in the center, in the main peninsula of the island of all three islands up there.
Yeah, so that means it's time for military base?
Maybe.
Yeah, since it's the last Erangel today, I might as well, right? Like just put it in. Just put it in. The players won't like us for this. But nevertheless, if you want to be the best, you got to overcome all sorts of challenges, right? So might as well. But I want to keep an eye on the Pachinki. So earlier on, it was Hale jumping in the second Erangel. I don't know if this will change because they seem to be changing their draw spot. Early on was MAB dropping somewhere on the left, but this time they're dropping on the right, probably due to the flight path as well. But because Pachinki is Pachinki, well, let's see if any team wants to challenge Hale Esports there.
I'm looking if there's anybody want to visit SMB here, maybe more than one this time. STE even dropped themselves, maybe around Nova Repnoya. We do have 4MV. They got their the previous chicken dinner in the second last Erangel. Now, Vampire, surprisingly, Stone, a bit segregated from the rest of the team. We do have a Medusa intersection here, but if it happens to be shifting all the way south, now that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, all the way down for the first circle. If that happens, the likeliness is low, but if that happens, it's
والله.
But look at the regional points.
لا والله بس كيفن كان that's the voice هذا جواب عليه.
Southeast Asia versus South Asia. Right now, South Asia.
Regional points.
Thanks to our Mongolian friends. Let's see here.
أيم فهمتوا شنو regional points ها؟ لا.
But it's I mean it's still the first day though.
Now,
إذا ما فهمتوا اشرح لكم إياها. يقولون كل ريجن ايش قد جايب نقاط يحسبون على اساس الفرق اللي من نفس من الريجن موجودين. شكل لك تيم يوم لهم 5 لاعبين وريجن تشاركوا في PMRC من تختار. بختار لورد وفريك.
One of the many cases because they have been fighting each other way early.
ما ادري
مين
اختار اي جي ال؟ اختار ساتان. بختار ساتان اي جي ال وبختار رجل عربي ما راح اختار لاعب اجنبي بس عرب. اختار ولا عربي افريقي بس عربي من الشرق الاوسط. اختار ساتان والحجي وفريك.
This again proves the point that they're here to dominate the world of
I agree. It's just about time. Speaking of which, so far they have been
ساتان والحجي وفريك.
They have been taking so much conquering to the side of Erangel. They have
way
more fundamentals. Their solid knowledge in the terms of the map itself is just incredibly insane. But aside of all the other teams that we did see Leo, for example, right, coming up from Nepal here. They do have very good circle, the early ones, but it's just them trying to hold their fort is a bit difficult.
Yeah, it's like they play in the middle. I think the most significant one that we can remember is the Kaka Mountain. Like they're up there.
ساتان والحجي وفريك.
Because he couldn't hold it, that's why they got minimum points out of that.
والله ما ادري.
So it was just too bad for Leo. And if you
والله ما ادري يا عيال.
Gather elimination points because they were in that kind of position. Well, despite how good they are with the circle and being in the middle of it, that's why they're also in the middle of the chart.
ساتان الحجي فريق ايدح
the adaptation done towards all the other teams' rotation at their initial drop spot. Everybody marking their own territory.
Lord وراجنر.
Contact made by any team just yet. And this is one of the most peaceful
والله بدون عاطفة والله.
because usually when we're entering around 3 minutes on the clock there's going to be one.
واحد قال طبلون ما ادري مرتضى على شنو نطبل حبيبي؟ ممكن تشرح لنا وما ادري يعني.
Maybe it's also because of the flight path.
Maybe because it's very generous, right?
Yeah, it's a nice flight path this time, so most of the teams able to drop into their regular drop spot. I would.
يا اخوان بث المينا بث المينا هذا بث الملا فعادي يعني خلي كنا ندردش. المنتاليتي.
Just all the way north.
Miramar all the way north. That'll be nice. That'll be nice. That'll be nice.
Yeah, I mean like we don't get to see too much about Oasis now. If players have to be forced to drop there now, that's gonna be fun.
لا فريق لاعب خرافي يا اخوان. مع انه راجنر عظيم. ابو علي لاعوب يجنن. دوح الثقة والفكرة التطوري يا اخوان لا احنا هنايا اخوان واصدقاء كلنا ماكو بث المينا تتعاركون انتم بث المينا هنايا لا كنا اخوان واصدقاء وندردش ونسولف وما اتوقع انه يعني كلنا فاميليا هنايا كنا فاميليا عائلة وعادي ترى حالات اذا ماكو سب طبعا وعلى البلدان وعلى الدين حالات التعليق هو بالمناوشات يعني. اي بس ما عندهم خبره. انت اليوم تحسهم يستاهلون يلعبون بي ام جي سي صح، بس لو هسه اليوم يروحون يلعبون بي ام جي سي ما راح يقدمون شيء. فاهمني؟ يعني يحتاجون انه بعد ياخذون فرصه وبطولات اكثر وراها راح يكونون موجودين بقوه ينافسون.
Oh, they're not just going to fight just yet. You know, the fact they just want to gain some scouting work coming up from Sky to make sure you got some intels to exchange towards the rest of the team. But for the side of Alter Ego, they're definitely spread out for the entirety of it. Same goes for Hill, though.
Fun fact: do you know how in Indonesia they pronounce potato's name? Potato.
Tomato.
Yeah,
potato, potato.
Potato. Yeah. So. Okay, assuming that you guys out there watching this live stream, you happen to.
اخوان انا مسوي ميوت واحكي لا اترجاكم صارنا فاتحين بث 2 ساعة و6 دقائق لا سبينا لا حد غلط على حد لا عراقي لا سعودي لا سوري لا مصري لا مغربي لا جزائري لا اردني لا فلسطيني لا لبناني لا ما عندنا هاي المواضيع قاعدين نسولف ونشاقه ونضحك وندردش فأترجاكم حبايب والله العظيم احنا هنايا نتابع ونستمتع. أترجاكم حبايب بالله عليكم هاي بوس على راس كل واحد بيكم يعني واحنا جايين نسولف ونضحك وندردش يعني عيد وايام عيد. تعالوا نصالحكم باترون تعال علاوي تعال غيوث يلا بوس راس بعض قلب حب عادي يعني الاخوان بيناتهم نوبات تصير مشاكل فاهمين؟ عادي هنا تصير مشاكل نصالحكم. يلا يا اخوان يلا صالحوا بعض اخوان كلنا بالشات خلينا نكتب الصلح خلينا نكتب الصلح كنا نتصالح كلنا ماكو مشاكل كنا اخوان كنا نضحك كنا نشاقه نعم كلنا اخوان نشاقه كلنا اخوان نشاقه وكلنا نشاقه وكلنا اخوان نشاقه كلنا اخوان شاقه وكلنا اخوان نشاقه وكلنا اخوان نشاقه العيد اليوم عيدين صالح باترون وعلي العيد اليوم عيدين صالح اليوم وعلي
Take like what, stage 4, and then everyone goes like, oh no, it's all the way the other side.
أعوذ بالله أعوذ بالله.
Oh yeah.
يا أخي يعني ليش هيك كل واحد يريد يذب السم بالكلام؟ يا أخي علاوي باتروني كلنا حبايب. هاي بوس على راسكم والله. خلاص بعد ما راح يسوي مشاكل باترون، أنا أوعدكم. وعلاوي بعد ما راح يسوي مشاكل. ويلا خلينا نتابع التر ريجو. يلا بالله باقي لي لايك، اريدها من علاوي هذا اللايك. علاوي اريد اللايك هذا منك حتى تصير 200. 201 لايك شكرا. حارة لو انا احس. احبكم والله احبكم. احبكم والله احبكم. احبكم والله احبكم. ماكو اجمل من ان واحد يقدم قبلة نقية لاخوانه. انا دائما اقبل جبينكم.
Chooses to poke the hornet's nest, but it's going to be Leo getting away. But at the same time, gets slow, knocked down by Trongzin somewhere else. Action happening back to back right now. Stage 2.
انا اتذكر هذا الواد على العتاب اللي بالجروب نشر اخوان احس اكو فد شيء متغير.
Stage 3 to 4.
لا ما غلسوا اكيد.
When it comes to stage 4, half of team will be eliminated by then. Because how close they are. YOODO Lions spot it out has to be.
لا اله الا الله. باعوا قلقيله شو يقول.
The compound taking so much cover. NBeSports have left with only 2 players. Leo.
يعني الباترون انت قاعد تهيج المواجع يا اخي ليش؟ يا خلود مو ما اقدر اعلق الا اسمع صوت الرصاص، صوت الجيم. اذا اسوي ميوت ما راح تسمع بس صوتي. احسك شيء متغير اخوان قاعد تبنوا. احسك شيء متغير. بعدنا نتعارك صح؟ بعدنا نتعارك ونتمشكل. انا راح ابعركم. انا راح ابعركم والله. يا اخي مهما كان ومهما صار المشاكل لازم تصير، لازم نضحك، لازم. يلا خلي اسوي لكم بيت بوكس. مشكلة
They're showing that exactly how it is when it comes to this final map of Erangel. But NBeSports, even though they're left with a 2-player, they still managed to take a couple of teams and players down. T2K fumbling down there. They split into 2 formation. The other half
مستقبلي جيد.
may happen to be obliterated by the hands of NBeSports. MB reposition himself.
هاي دوم
We do see another team in the wrap of NBeSports. Surprisingly, they're working so well as a duo.
Yeah, defending that ground, but now it's going up against Alter Ego. Pathetic super.
روزميري بلا.
MBE will take.
احبكم على راسي والله، هذا تقديركم اخليه فوق راسي. بس التريجو خلوا وضعنا اختناق. روزميري تبلع يا نوب، تبلع. ها اسف فاميلي. احمد محسن بيت بوكس. بيت بوكس هذا بوتيتو هسه من الجاي باوع، هو فريقه بالع يعني شو يريد لك؟ شو تريد؟ مانغوليا best country for PUBG mobile on the world. Mongolia guys.
numbers when it comes to Alter Ego, but one by one,
Vampire
their body willingly
FaZe on the next.
There's going to be a great number going up
FaZe
for
راح
them
يكون
because they already
متواجدين
secured themselves
بالسعودية حبايب.
5 eliminations, the highest by far, dominating across the board. But for all
ولا
the
شنو
other
هذه
teams,
البطولة؟
they're playing this very
هذه
quietly.
البطولة هي تجمع ما بين أوروبا والشرق الأوسط. هيرو يقول لي زيت لك مسج. علي عباس. يا اخوان تو نجي وطالع على عباس ابو اكو شيء مختلف. دز رسالة قال لي كل عام وانتم بخير. اسألني يا قلبي. اخوان راح اسمعكم شيء مهم.
It's going to be super duper messy. Now,
جبت نايم شلونكم؟ شنو الأخبار؟ أحسك شيء متغير.
Seconds before the zone closes, but looking at the current scenario, we still have a good number of teams on the outside. T2K, one of them, but Bomo.
وين هيرو؟ ما دزيت لي مسج.
T2K, only the both of them in this shack. I mean, they're surrounded by all the other teams.
اي بس هذا كوري غير فريق.
Boom. Fighting against 4MV next rise. He tried to
هيرو وين دزيت له رسالة؟
make
هيرو
himself
شنو
covered by all those trees
شنو
and open up the space to pick
هالنيصية
up a
هاي؟
jewel, but the rest of 4MV coming in for the rush. They're crashing straight into Boom's place. Bombit tried to isolate them out by tossing those nades, keeping them at bay. Rifas tried to put up the pressure and pushing forward at the same time, but Alter Ego now taking the fight against NBeSports at the same time. But 4MV trying to drop back to his feet, but the barely can see through around the.
جنى ما نحتاج توني كي.
Boom have to be prepared to fight.
أحسك شيء متغير.
Fighting YOODO Alliance, fighting against NBE somewhere else, but the fight between 4MV as well as Boom needs to end because they are both on the outside of the circle.
شوبكس وتوني كي بدلاء لأن نوزي وفلوكي ما لعبوا في الأسبوع الأخير من PMPL تايلاند.
Must win this fight, if not they might be backstabbed by 4MV.
خرافي ذاك كان خرافي. هم يريدون ياخذون التشكيله المناسبه اللي راح يلعبون بيها البي ام دبليو اي. شنو النيدات ايست انت الامل الاخيره انت ودوك لفريق اير 4 ام في. يتقدم هنا امامنا ريزي سينيال دوك. النهاية قريبة والبوم يامل البوم ومن هناك ماب مع فريق يودو الاينس. نوزي يا اخوان ما في يعني لو يعطوني فيد ما بي صوت معلقين يا اخي ارتاح. بس شايف انت تعلقوا صوت باذنك. الله 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 الله. جي 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 يودو الاينس بالعو يودو الاينس بالعو يودو الاينس بالعو جي جي بالعو.
That is it. YOODO Alliance is out.
MAB players got one each for this execution, but
قلت المعلقين يا حبيبي يا حبيبي الملايين. ملا لا تعلق الباترون يقول خلي يعلق بس هنا تعلق ابعر. لا فاميلي اسف. انا اسف. ملا اكو تيمات عربيه لا حبيبي. جنوب شرق اسيا وشرق اسيا. علق بالرهزه العراقيه ما اعرف يعني شلون. T2K هسه قاعدين يتقدمون على فريق الام بي اللي جاي يدافع. هل تقدرون تدافعون؟ ما جاي يقدرون يسوون كل شيء. ضربه من ورا. شفت اللهجه العراقيه شو بعرتني. لا اله الا والله احنا ما طالبين نجيب. لا اله الا الله.
Mela spotted out, but like fuck, can see him. He's prepared himself to toss out the nade. He's trying to calculate the perfect angle to land on
خلاص
the side
سكتت.
of 898.
خلاص السي ار بي.
Coming up from the other side, Newsy spotting them out. Boom coming out. Achul placing himself, repositioning right in the center of the war zone as well.
قربت. ايوه الحركه دي، خلونا نبص. والان والله خل احاول ها. خليني احاول بالمصري ها. ترسلها. نتابع الاجونايات متواجدين قرب الميه، ويضربوا ويعوروا. هنا الشيكابالا اوزم اللاعب الباكستاني اللي متواجد الان على ايرانجل، بيحاول يعمل حاجه، يعمل اي حاجه. فريق الماب بيبوش على فريق الجيك. ما ادري شلون يقولون هم الجيك. ايه فريق الجيك سوني بيقدر يخلص على اول لاعب، ومن هناك بيحاول على اللاعب الثاني ملك الامان. ايه ده يا اسطى بتعمل ايه يا اسطى بتعمل ايه الجمال ده كله؟ ايه الجمال، ايه الطرب ده كله؟ ايه الاغاني، ايه يا ام كلثوم؟ نيد بتفجر الدنيا نيد. وفين الفراعنه يجوا ينقذونا؟ ما ادري. يا خرابي يا لهوي، يا نهار ابيض يا اكشن، يا نهار ابيض يا اكشن بالنيد. بيخلص عليهم كلهم. ممكن يعمل حاجه اكشن بالحاجه دي والحاجه دول، ومالا دول وانا عم الكول. اسفين المصري، ادري اللهجه المصريه بالنسبه لي يعني ما تنفعش. خلينا نجيب ستارفل. ستارفل. يا عم ستارفل. يس. هلو يا عم ستارفل، ازيك يا حبيبي؟ كتير من المتابعين بيسألوا عن اللهجة المصرية، وكنت عاوز اقول لك تعال هنا تعلق باللهجة المصرية. شتوا تحجون على صوت المعلق ها؟ يلا اسمعوا هاي احسن لكم. هسه علق لك باللهجة السورية.
There's no way for entry at all. STE barely make it happen to be alive. They are fighting against the Blues and with GEEK SLATE as their contenders. Snipes will be the playmaker for the team. But STE, they hop into their vehicles knowing for the fact this is going to be difficult for them to fight.
Ebla.
Action. Move anytime soon because now they created the smoke bridge. GEEK SLATE, they know that that's going to happen. That's why they reposition themselves. And speaking about reposition, Tops now taking an off angle. He has a good view of GEEK SLATE. The rest of STE, this is the fight that they cannot avoid because right now we're talking about stage 6 and it's GEEK SLATE standing between them and the circle.
Damn rude. Trying to reset, boost it himself as well. The rest of the members of GEEK SLATE start to fight.
اساس اجرب السعودي قريب علينا، قريب على العراقي، خليج بشكل عام قريب على العراقي.
Trying to confuse them with those nades, giving couple of throwables, a bit of a pressure to us.
علق بالكويت ها.
مين
جاينا؟ الجيك مين يابا؟ مين جاينا هالحزه؟ ايش تبي جاي؟ خلينا نشوف شو ممكن يعمل فريق الاس تي اي. ايس واي جاي. وين جاي يبا انت وين جاي؟ ما سكر الباب وراك واطلع. يصفط السيارة. مكشوفك انت، مكشوف ولك. هي صحيح بالكويت ولا باقي الوحده نرزد باقي الوحده. شو راح يساوي ابويا؟ صح لا غلط صحيح. اصبر خل اسوي له ريكورد. هسه هو ياهو اللي جاينا حالحزه هاي. ايه شو يا دمي، شو يا برويتي، شو يا قلبي، شو بتعمل؟ اللي وين رايح يا استاذ جيك؟ انت وين رايح؟ قل لي اللي شو بدك يا قلبي؟ بدك تعال نعمل عركه مع بعض. اعمل له غاغه وخلص منه. ايه يا برويتي، برافو عليك يا برويتي، برافو عليك يا دماتي، برافو عليك يا دماتي. هاي لبناني صح. وين خلينا نروح. قولوا لي لبناني. ايه لبناني. بدك مناقيش؟ تعال بدك مناقيش ولا شو بدك؟ شو بدك يا قلبي؟ اوه يا دمتي، يا اوتك يا تايجر، يا اوتك ما شاء الله عليك. يخزي العين على جمالك وجمال اوتك. بعد يا سلام. يقبرني تقبرني يا اوتاك، تقبرني يا اخي. هيدا اللاعب كثير قوي. عم شوفه كثير قوي. قولوا لي اشتري من بعد. يا لهجه جمال. هيدا لاعب الدي ار اس بيعقد كرمال الله. شو هالقوة، شو هالجمال، شو هالأداء الكتير قوي. هاي كف بعد ما واحد يقول لي لهجة ثانية، اللهجة الجزائرية. كيف درباش، كيف خويا، كيف هاي بس اعرفها كيف بس والله. كيف اهدر يحضر، كيف اهدر الرصاص، يهدر الكل. اللي اهدر يحضر باللهجة المصطاوية. قلي وبقل لك مقلاة النار، مقلاته. شو يقول يا لهجة بعد، يا لهجة حبيبي وانت ولا بخير. صعب هذه. منو الديجيتال؟ قل لي مين هو الديجيتال؟ كيفاش خويا، كيفاش شكون تعمل، شكون تضرب، شكون تخلص، وشكون يكون مجنون، وشكون لا كردي وصعب علي. وشكون القوة، شكون النيد. أبكعانة القوة، أبك يا دسم الشوارب. أبكعانة يا أجناي أيت. أبكعانة. شنو هذا يا ميسي، شنو هذا. أوتشي في السنة كردية، لا موريتاني والله ما أعرف صراحة ما أعرف موريتاني. علق بالسوداني وش ما أعرف السوداني، يا ويل أمها سنابش وأنا في داش، لا والله ما صراحة صعبة. أنا أصبر وهسه واحد يا أخي، لو واحد يجهز لي فد هيك مجموعة من الكلمات بكل اللهجات، أعلقهن، أصورهن، أنزلهن الريل، أقول ملا يعلق بكل اللهجات العربية. بس أنت جبتوا لي هاي الفكرة راح أطبقها. باللهجة الحلبية ولك أنا رايح على حلب. اسحب شفريتك ولك. لا تجنني، لا تخلي علي يخرج من مخي. But their closest opponent is going to be DRS on the other side. We got Pombit still active, Tiger still active. Tiger could backstab DRS.
It might be Pombit first in this case. They're the one that closes against them. We have Delta with those skills put up to work. Nobody can spot him out if he's proning down. Playing very smart, knowing his strength right now for Delta Axe. But Pombit is right across him. He tried to clear any corners there as possible. Blindly toss over the troubles, hoping it will land on somebody close enough to his Pombit. Imagine being Pombit right now.
Oh, and they seem to know where Pombit is at. That's why the names have been tossed at him. I mean, being Pombit right now is going to be tough. Even if they manage to blow up the vehicle, Pombit could be taken out. Now QQ needs to move. The circle will close entirely. We're talking about stage 9 now. And Pombit will be the next target as they go straight in onto him.
Playing a dangerous game coming from Agonai. It's what Pombit. It's going to be two-way. Crossfire. Water support by the side of Agonai. But it's not going to be enough as Killer now start to open fire as well. Agonai 8 left with 2 players with DRS. Right now they are outnumbered. They do have the advantage. Can they close things up?
Here we go. Play with the long range. Onto Delta. But Play will be counter-fire upon. Now it's down to the last man for AGI. And can he pull off a clutch here? But it looks like it's going to be DRS with the chicken dinner. And somebody got his prediction right.
Finally they made it. And it was not an easy one as well, but still nonetheless it's coming up from South Asia region.
Yeah, still South Asia showing that they are strong and consistent in the PMRC so far. My goodness, DRS. They had a long travel from another location recently, and coming into this tournament, they managed to get the chicken dinner.
اخوان واحد مسوي لي منشن على الانستغرام انا على المصري يخاف انا اشرب الستوري عبالهم الناس انه انا قاعد احشش ترى ما يعني انتوا اللي ورطتوني قلتوا لي علق باللهجات انا ما قصدي ترى احشش على لهجه معينه او شيء اعوذ بالله.
The real soldiers. That's what DRS stands for, ladies and gentlemen.
شاشيني ما تقول لي بوي انت جاي لي جاي علينا. لا يا اخوان لا يزعلون. والله خالد انت خالد مشكله اقسم بالله. اشوفك بالسعوديه.
So far we haven't got ourselves 20 sort of violations, but I'm not surprised if that happened by the after today or tomorrow at this stage. Looking at how aggressive the players coming out, especially from South Asia region. They have non-stop shooting. Coming out from South Asia, they're fighting against each other so many times. But Delta just gets so good with those Gillisard, playing around the flank side.
يعني اخاف احد حسس او شيء صدقا كل اللهجات اللي احنا حاولنا نقلدها هي من باب فكاهي لعدم درايتي باللهجات هذه او بعدم مقدرتي على تقليد هاي اللهجات. ماكو نية للإساءة أعوذ بالله.
That was another incredible game coming out from the South Asia region. We have to toss back to our analyst who's been waiting and excited for their analysis here. Take it away, Contra, and on the go.
And I know a lot of all these fans have been waiting for this, and you've been waiting for this prediction to be right as well. DRS, they've got themselves the chicken dinner, and the streak continues on for all the South Asian teams. And I want to pick your brains right now. What really makes these squads so good?
I think they are just very good
مو صحيح أكيد هذا
this time around they get only 8 elimination points, so 18 total points for a DRS. But AGI, they were very close getting the chicken dinner. But again, team with the number advantage, losing the chicken dinner.
Yeah, and this
عليكم السلام هلا حبايب. انت بألف خير يا قلبي يا ما.
Form of matches, but all eyes were on Killer
White.
really land a couple of all these blows in order to stay afloat for DRS. And then, of course, provided with a lot of help coming from the team, Ganti was the one to land the final blow as well. But DRS is the definition of a team that actually works really hard together.
Yes, to be honest, I think Delta did a lot this game as well with the Gilly. And he was the one jumping around while the rest of them are proning and trying to look for an opening to get the players from AGI8. But at the end of the day, I think the Gilly helped a lot because it was all grass, it was all green. It was very hard for them to to spot him. But MAB, they will be taking the lead now with 40 points, 1 chicken dinner.
Absolutely, and speaking of all these greens, like but only a couple of teams that have been able to really climb up in terms of standings in this Erangel round is MAB, FaZe Clan, as well as DRS, and of course for AGI8. Meanwhile, of course, on the second page here, things have been a little bit of a slow grind.
عليكم السلام يا ريس وانت بألف خير.
I was hearing from our casters as well. A lot of all these Southeast Asian teams, they are battling each other very early on, and all these.
يا حبيبي يا ميمي يا قلبي انت.
Even if you do win some of all these fights, you lose out perhaps a little too many members, and we see some of them by the shorelines, trying to stay afloat, trying to survive, and it was so difficult.
I think tomorrow things will be different for the Southeast Asian team. Again, they have a lot of analysts, coaches watching these games, and they know, you know what, how do we rotate and avoid these Southeast Asian teams, especially teams like Vampire, team like FaZe Clan, YOODO Alliance, especially YOODO Alliance.
Oh yeah, they take.
لا حبايبي STE جاي يلعبون بالجوال الجديد استعدادا ل PMWI. قاعد يلعبون بجوال اسمه اونر ماجيك 5 برو.
But for now, they just really have to grind true because later on there's still Miramar to play out, which.
تعال للديسكورد مالي.
Speaking of which, we'll take a couple of minutes break and then head to the desert dunes. So catch you guys in the bit.
أمي تقول لي السلام عليكم سحبت لك الراتب مالك جت الفلوس يا اخوان اجا الخير اجا يانا الخير يانا واللي فقره ولانا يانا الخير يانا واللي فقره ولانا يلا وياي غنوا يانا الخير يانا واللي فقره ولانا يانا الخير يانا عاد تدرون انا مضيع البطاقه من الراتب مالتي الماستر كارد ها فاني اذا اروح اطلع ماستر كارد طول لها شي شهر فاني شو اسوي؟ احول فلوس من البطاقه مالتي على بطاقه امي تسحب لي اياه يانا الخير يانا واجا الراتب اجا الراتب اجا الله اجا الراتب عيني يابا اجا الراتب يا مرتي اجا الراتب راح اعطيك عيديه اسمع يا بنتي اجا الراتب راح اعطيك عيديه يعني كله اتعامل عام عيديه بالاجل مثلا مره قلت لها 25 عيديتك بس بالاجل يعني انتظريني من استلم الراتب بنتي 10000 عيديتك بس على الراتب الحمد لله اليوم فكيت كل ديوني راح تخلص ديوني وراح اتداين للشهر الجديد. كل عام وانت بألف خير قلبي توفي والشباب كلهم جميعا بألف خير. هو تسد ديون الشهر القديم تبدي ديون جديدة. شارك معك صوتيا في الديسكورد والله ممكن بالفترة الجاية ليش لا؟ ممكن. فامباير تايلندي. لا حبيبي غني مصر انت بدك شو؟ راتب بسم الله من الله اكيد رفيقهم ما شاء الله يعني وتجيب انت هالقد اجار البيت هالقد كهرباء هالقد مولد هالقد انترنت هالقد مصرف هالقد بنزين سياره هالقد مدري ايش خلصت راحت لكن الله يرزقنا ويرزق الجميع يا رب.
Experience dinosaur taming and riding an all-new version of PUBG Mobile Dynaground. Explore Dino Settlement and Wild Reserve and embark on a prehistoric adventure in the Battle Royale game. Come and play now.
وش انت قاطع PMRC ممكن بطل ملا اكلمك جد، ممكن تكون مكتشف لي موهبه عن طريقك؟ ممكن، ليش لا؟ في بنوك تاخذ 3%، في بنوك تاخذ 8%، في بنوك تاخذ 7%، حسب.
My name's Contra, your host, as well as with me is On The Go, our analyst throughout the entire course of the run. So far, you know, SA, so many chicken dinners already, and now switching into
بالتراكنج يا اخوان، ركزوا، ينافس كوبس بالتراكنج.
Heading to the biggest map that we're playing in the next couple of rounds.
I think things will change. I think at least
Yeah,
one
well,
chicken will
well,
come
GG.
from Southeast Asia this time around. But I'm expecting a slower paced game for Miramar at least compared to Erangel.
خلي يشدون حيلهم والله. بكندا الكذا فرصة ترى يلعبون PMPLNA.
To get their first chicken dinner today. Overall, I think they're doing better. Hill did way better last round after getting only 3 points from 3 games. Last Erangel, they did manage to get top 4 at least. So I expect more from all the Southeast Asian team, including even Box Gaming. Keep in mind, Box Gaming, they're using the lineup from last year, SLDs in PMSL. So they are extremely good in Miramar.
ولا تراكن كوبس ببطولتين اخيره ما بد. لا يعني بس كوبس يدمج بالتراكن. اخوان 4 تشيكن، 3 تشيكن دينر، 4 تشيكن دينر، 3 نيبالي، 3 منغولي، 1 نيبالي. جي منغولي اب.
Coming in from the Southeast Asia region as well. And the fun fact is, of course, it is a lot more time for the South Asia teams spent in the blue zone versus the Southeast Asian teams. And do you think that that itself actually affects the gameplay of how, you know, the South Asian teams do better compared to the Southeast Asians?
I think the number of Southeast Asian teams at the end of the circle is getting lesser and lesser because of that particular reason. There are more South Asian teams in the center of the circle, so bigger number, so higher chance to get chicken dinner. I mean, simple probability.
You know what they say, great minds think alike, and we think that STE is gonna do phenomenally well inside of Miramar as well. So we're not gonna waste all too much time of yours because I know you guys want to get into action. But first, let's get to Choo Choo and Sir Cloud.
Well, looks like they want to complete the circle. They want to complete the circle of all Mongolian teams getting a chicken dinner on day 1, not even leaving to day 2.
ميرامار تشيكن اس تي ولا زي ما احكي لك لواعي وصدق يلعبون اذا اقدر ادبر فيديو منهم اشوفك. والله يعني يا ريت يكون عندنا فريق عربي يروح عراقي هناك بان اي فرصه. او في بوبجي خلينا نسولف. خالد يقول عفوا بوبجي خلونا نتونس اليوم اجازه للجميع.
Well, if Contra hits anyone, I'm calling the police, you know. I'm just saying. But anyway, it looks like it's going to be Miramar, our first Miramar.
Miramar chicken STE.
Change, especially when it comes to the amount of.
ملا هل ممكن مجال انت شغالين فيه يحقق استقرار مادي ام مستقبل عائله؟ لا ما استقرار مادي لا. مستقبل القريب ممكن يعني سنه سنتين اي بس لا يعني ذلك تشوف كلنا احنا يعني كلنا كودي مثلا شغال موظف بمنظمه، ملا شغال موظف بالحكومه، ما هو شغال موظف بالحكومه، بعد مين يوسف شغال بتجاره يعني يشتغل بالتجاره بين كندا والجزائر. بعد قول لي مين ذكرني يعني مين من الشباب. معتز يشتغل بالستريمينج مو بس بالتعليق. هنكي هم يشتغل موظف يعني بالاي سبورتس بعيدا عن الكاستنج. بعد مين في شباب مين كيالي هم يشتغل بوظيفة ويعني يشتغل وظائف إدارية مو بس اي سبورت. فمين بعد ليجند ممكن وساند هم اللي وهم يعني عندهم خبرات يعني بمجال ثاني بعيد عن الاي سبورت. يعني ليجند يشتغل بنوك، ساند يشتغل بوظيفة إدارية كان. هي مصدر دخل مو مصدر دخل لا بيها اجور بس ما ناخذ رواتب، ناخذ وقت البطولة اجور على البطولة وبس. ما يقدر يخلي يعني كلمة استقرار مادي لا
legends fighting against each other. But I'm not surprised.
بمدخل جيد إيه.
Well, I guess it's also the possibility of that happen. It's lower than before. It's because Miramar is a bigger map. It's putting the logic of size versus the number of teams. Obviously, we still remain the same number of teams.
ما افتهمت رامي على شو تحكي.
Hence, that is the case. YOODO Alliance into Lost Donors. This is their regular drop spot because of the fly path. They'll get it, and it's not too much of a surprise that Lost Donors.
مش هواية يعني عمل بس مش هو الشيء اللي أنت تبني عليه مستقبل. هذا ممكن أنا أطمح إلى أن أبني مستقبلي كمعلق كروي للأمام. أو قد يكبر موضوع الإي سبورت يكبر أكثر ونعقود لسنتين ثلاثة لخمسة. حبيبي الله يسلمك يدول عينك. ايه يقول انه اكو فريق يا رب يا رب احنا داعمين لهم بما يحتاجون.
But when it comes to overall rankings, even though they won themselves aside of DRS, the chicken dinner, but the two teams that don't have any chickens up there is going to
صح طريق اللي بناء المستقبل صح. يعني احنا قاعد نكسب خبرة نكسب معارف نكسب هاي الامور. يعني او واحدة مثلا من طموحاتي اني انا اكون مستقر بالرياض وموجود بالرياض استقر على اساس نوع من فرصة عمل بالرياض مو كتالنت مو كتعليق او فرصة عمل بالرياض الى جانب الظاهر بس شكل والله هاي القلوب ما اعرف.
Not too far away from the number one spot.
الله يوفقهم يا قلبي يا عمي وصل لهم سلامي ولهم تحياتي يعني. ولكو دعوات خاصة نعم لآر 8 لدعوة خاصة كبلد مستضيف.
YOODO Alliance, the only team didn't crack the double-digit code down there. Kind of worried for them right now. It's going to be 3 points different from them and T2K. Instead of Leo Fox. I feel like they're going to go back to a drawing board by the end of today if they're still stagnant down there. We know for a fact any competition, it's going to be always someone at the top and someone at the bottom. It's all about the gap in between, right? We don't want the gap is too big for them to reach out.
Yeah, despite like we theorize like, it's still day one and all that. I also want to put in like this extra theory, right? Like YOODO Alliance is the comeback team. Like they always do well towards the last day. Like even if you remember from the last PMSL where they played, it was towards the end that they really shoot up, and then it became only by
خالد وينك يا حبيبي وينك يا حبيبي الناصري ما هيك هاي.
If we were to expect anything out of YOODO Alliance, maybe we might need
اكو دعوة لتيم هندي لا ما في. فرض هيك سيد كنا نقود رسميا بس السنة الماضية كان اكو دعوات خاصة رياضية السنة اكو دعوة للبلد المستضيف دعوة لحامل اللقب اكو ليش.
It just shows how aggressive they are when it comes to finding their targets.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, Alter Ego, they do have Rosemary, your favorite player.
Of course.
Yeah, but we haven't seen him like really shine. But it doesn't matter if his other teammates can actually pick up the elimination points. We saw Pombe actually lasting longer than Rosemary in the previous round. So if they can have that swap in swap out with each other, maintaining the whole team consistency, I think that's okay. But can you imagine that if Rosemary can perform like how he did in the last PMSL as the top eliminator, Alter Ego would shoot up to number one without chicken dinner.
It's kind of true. Still waiting for that to happen. And usually it happens when it starts coming up from Miramar because of the distance in between the high grounds, making it so hard for them to be shut down by all the other teams. It's all about high grounds when it comes to Miramar, but it's also about how you closing the distance if the fights are too long between you and the other party. Now, AGI 8 so close of getting that chicken just now. But this time they're trying to get those elevations first for the side of Empires. There definitely are compound hopping between them, trying to get himself as much loot as possible. They know for a fact
بالمينا
they need a lot
النجمة.
of resources with those vehicles, with
نصدر
the
نقاط
grenades.
بإنجليزي.
They didn't have enough. And so far when it comes to grenade comparison, it
إيه
feels
الله
like
يوفقه
South Asia do
هكسي.
have it more compared to
عندك
the
يا
side
معرض.
of South Asia region.
ده يناقش
You know
العروض.
what? AGI8 has an extra storyline to them or extra motivation to them. They are now the only country in South Asia
ما راح
region
يلعبون
to not
بإندونيسيا،
get a
لا.
chicken dinner because Nepal already got it. Obviously Mongolia got it. So now AGI8 is the next one.
There's going to be a lot of pressure with the only representative coming up from Pakistan.
Yeah.
You're the only representative for that. So there's a lot of pressure on their side. But it's not impossible for them based on their last performance. But this is a different map entirely. It's wider, it's bigger, there's more land, and there's not many structures in between. It's all about the terrain, those high grounds, those elevations, and those valleys. How you play around them, that's a bigger question. And maybe Baron always loves to play the flank side when it comes to initiate any sort of engagement towards the other team. They're definitely very proactive, if you ask me. Coming up from the side of the Mongolian teams, particularly, right? You can't see them waiting, except for STE, they've been waiting some time. But the rest have been proactively hunting people down.
Okay, let's see if the circle will change their proactiveness since it now moves towards 100% land, still centered around Junkyard. You have a good amount of teams on the outside of the circle. I would say keep your eyes still on MAB on the north side. They will move in. Boom is right in front of them. If they go further, it's going to be Alter Ego. If they choose to wait, probably Vampire Esports may come up to them. But I think from the teams from Lost Earners will be kind of interesting as well, because as YOODO line goes out, there's another team behind them that can come in. So we could see a battle at the south side of the circle.
Speaking of the circle, some teams not even nearby. We're talking about those teams actually taking the blue zone. And NBeSports, one of them, including Leo, there's going to be only two because right now for NB already landed. He gets put out box.
برافو برافو والله شالة.
Goes in, the rest of them will not go back to make a U-turn to help.
جيب راسه يلعن ابو القوة يا أكتا.
Octa is just super sharp right now.
Well, we did talk about Alter Ego with their firepower. 2 knockdowns back-to-back for Box Gaming. The only and now Kwang will be taken out by Octa. It's going to be first blood given towards Alter Ego. Gosu needs to pray that he'll be able to get to safety, but for Trongzin, he will be left by his teammates. Unfortunately, there wasn't anything much that they could do.
Starting off a bit handicapped on the side of Box Gaming, left with only 2 players here. STE happened to be being engaged by another team. DRS because of their distance, almost around 300 meters apart. So definitely he can revive his teammate for Rozog. Trying to scout out the rest of the players, but it's just too difficult because of their distance is just too far. But T2K, one of the teams that actually being eliminated early is actually T2K. Yeah, they were the first team to go out previously. So they had a longer rest as compared to the others. It's not the rest that they would have wanted, but they'll be looking to recover themselves this time. Mondo is all alone though at the building below them, but because they're all in the circle and looking at the position that T2K has that nice high ground on top, well spread out, I don't expect them to go on to Mondo. For GEEK, SLATE try to gatekeep 2 Thai teams at the same time. There's going to be Hill and Vampires. They're gatekeeping these teams from entering. Ravenclaw got tapped out. It's going to be Snipes getting those knocks, but he cannot translate it into 1 points due to the mountain in between them. But Damrude just giving away his position way too much, and Hill knocks him back. That's the thing about long range, right? Yes, you can get the knock, but to secure the elimination point is not that easy because of the slope. And now the fight between GEEK SLATE is coming in. GEEK SLATE, Snipes needs to win the fight. He gets a knockdown. Can he get more out of this? The nade of the Snipes down to 40% of health. He's kind of low, but Snipes, another knockdown for him. Can he clutch this out? 1v1 against GetSlow. The other play of Hill trying to climb up here, a bit too far and a bit too slow, but GetSlow trying to make work by himself. nading down on snipes.
ملا شو شجع الفا 7
just revive the rest of the roster, but here comes the rest of the cavalry for GEEK SLATE. Vampire is trying to take snipes on a different angle in time where they have hail at the same time. 4MV heard those gunshots and just take it as that.
شويه ضعفان والله بس يعني بعدني مخربط بالاكل اسوي رياضه بس ما انضبط بالاكل.
Trying to reposition himself to see what's going on at the other end.
لا مش PMRC PMWI.
The timing wasn't right for him. Hail Esports will reset entirely, and now they're on the way into the circle. Next, could it be Mika? Could it be someone else? Now they're doing the scouting work.
بهاي الفرق ممكن STE alter ego.
Still a good amount of space for them to rotate if they choose to go somewhere else.
Box not giving any sort of attempt towards AGI8, knowing they're only left with 2 players here. Just want to know any sort of information who's around them. It's not just going to be one team around them right now. There's going to be another just next to them, 2 or 3 possibly. On the side of field, they need to leave.
هلا حمودي وعليكم السلام.
While GEEK SLATE left with only Mika in between.
اوف شيله جي دوك.
Free elimination for 4MV.
والله كانوا يسالفون بدك وانا كنت اقول ايست ودك هم يلعبوا. كيفاش
He didn't have the opportunity to get into action. He was taken out just like that. So GEEK SLATE is out. Number 16, no elimination points at all. It's nice field to secure.
حمودي الحبيب ايمت بوس راسك.
4MV will be happy to take the point.
East and Apex for 4MV. Let's see who's coming out the other side. They try to gatekeep.
اتوقع ياخذ بطولة BMW. والله ما ادري. خلي يجيني الالهام قبل البطولة. ان شاء الله يوم 10 انشر لكم ستوري واقول لكم من اتوقع البطل.
Sky, try to see if there's anybody else coming out from the northern side. But they're just too close to the side of 4MV. If it's not being careful, if it's tunneling vision towards his front, his
عليكم السلام هلا يا قلبي يا ادقر كاكا حبيبي منور.
Go DRS, but the terrain is rough. Just look at this. For them to
ايدو نرز الاسطورة.
Might lose one player there as Killer is still scouting around trying to find.
كل عام وانت بألف خير حيدوري عليك وعلى اهل ويحفظ لك اياهم يا رب.
But Top's all alone. There's almost no way for STE to save him as finally Killer will take out Tops.
That one nade, that's going to be grenade elimination coming up from Killer. Sky need to move, joining with the rest of his team. While STE, IC spotted out DRS, Ganti just going to finish off in an instant. There's going to be one player, IC happened to be there. DRS, they're trying to take
حبيبي سعود يا قلبي.
He's just going to get out from there with his buggy and just pick back the remaining members of STE. They're left with only 2
ياخذ SEA يا هي SE يعني هاي تقصد لو شنو؟
But the moment they pick out Leo and T2K is right on top of them as well.
Oh, since they only left with 2 players, they'll play a little bit more safer. I don't think they will go straight onto Leo. But for MAB coming to the circle, what an interesting location they are in.
Oof.
Using it to their advantage. One knockdown for T2K. IC is the last man standing for STE. There's not much that they can do. All alone. And now IC is out. STE becomes the next team to be eliminated. And that is the analyst curse, ladies and gentlemen.
هاي بعد والله هاي STE ما مركزين عليه كثير لان جاي يجربون بالجوال الجديد. اكو بطولة الريجن العربي مشارك بيها البي ام دبليو اي مشاركين بيها فرق و البي ام ار سي هم مشاركين بيها.
If they want to go a bit of safer route,
there's
no way in a safer place here. Because it's either taking a fight against Hill or taking a fight against Ego. They go south, there's another team down there. Vampires, on the other hand, forcing Boom to take up the challenge. And Newsy being knocked down by Rosemary instead from a different off angle entirely.
Wow, Rosemary knocked down again by Apex. And now Rosemary again and again and again being the target of other teams. Newsy will be picked up by Ravenclaw. Stow on the other side, giving cover by tossing a nail onto Boom. And looks like it's going to be Boom against Vampire Esports again. We saw this earlier on in the Erangel. And we have Razy going in for off angle. Razy is going in for the backstab.
Stone spotted out Razy just beneath him.
هلا وهلا.
Crazy got a clear shot and finish off.
السلام عليكم.
Oh man, he just missed a tiny bit of it.
Nice backstabbing by Crazy. Going in for the flank, and with that he will secure that elimination point. And not only that, the rest of Vampire Esports, the moment they know that Stone is out, thanks to Razy, they'll be like, okay, nope, we don't want any of this, we're getting inside.
Problem is they don't have enough people now taking the fight against Rosemary. Was fighting against another player just now. Newsy coming up from the flank side. Ravenclaw taking the front line, but Rosemary keeping them at bay. Newsy hop back with the vehicles, hoping to grab Ravenclaw.
ولا خلاص روح نكمل وقت بارتي.
Rosemary just knocked him down.
بس ريح الدخان فما
even Yummy across the other side, but leaving Newsy to flee. Will he just leave him by? And Rosemary retracted position back.
Whoa!
الله يسلمكم حبايب.
Fanatic alter ego. He got the point just now.
يا حبيبي الله يسعدكم جميعا الله يسلمكم. خلاص موافقين. خلوا تاخذها مقبعة. ليش حيدر؟ حسن حسين ملا حبيبي تعرف حمزة؟ ألف حمزة يا حبيبي.
And the side of our next circle.
يا حبيبي الله يسلمكم جميعا حبايب. اللي ما عنده ذرية الله يرزقه الذرية.
Come out from the southwest side. Well, on the southern side we do have.
والما متزوج الله يزوجه يا رب.
AGI on the other end taking a sweet time, saying goes for 4MV, taking a very late rotation while Box remaining at that place for the longest time there is, not willing to even pick out. But sort of YOODO lines, they definitely have a lot of
والله اروح اسوي جيم بس مو ما ملتزم الاكل.
Look at that. That is a rough angle. I mean we're talking about urban warfare here.
سلم لي على حجي حمزة أمانة. حجي حمزة أخونا وحبيبنا وصديقنا.
FaZe Clan arrive and now Soyam.
ليش؟
Raider tossing on to the other side where DRS is set, but his name will not connect as he gets knocked down by Killer with the DBS.
يلا خلينا نشوف جيم التي 2 كي وما بالهاي كلها جواهم ارق وقع لو سنة. اجى يريد يضغط على ذول الليكويد جماعته. تي 2 كي عندهم 3 كلات هسه. ايش اخبار العلبة اللي كنت اكلها كل جيم والله ما ملتزم الاكل. شلون دوم نوك روح وسوي ريفايف.
He would have been okay, but unfortunately that had to happen. Now, speaking about unfortunate situations, Rosemary again knocked down. We don't get to see the best of Rosemary just yet. We still got one more round, but there's still opportunity.
خلاص ابو الخلود تاخذها مقبعة والله. تعرف بلانة؟ يعرف بلانة. بس ما عندي علاقة بيها. لا اعوذ بالله سعود بيش طالبني شنو تريد سوينا مشاكل. خوش نيت هاي التر خوش نيت يلا ابلع نيد من عمك الاقنايت. شيل اكلهم.
But looks like Boss Gaming is out. Number 10 without a single elimination. That means no points for round number 5.
AGI plays himself in the middle.
لا ليش ما عندهم حظ؟ لا انا ما ادخن يعني بالغرفه اللي هي تقعد بالغرفه انا ادخن بالصاله. مستحيل ادخن نفس المكان اللي هي تقعد بيه مستحيل. لا لا ولا شيء. لا ما يسوي شيء بالريجن عندنا ما شيء. من تشجع الملا الحب 1007 العلبة اللي تاكلها صار الصينية اللي قلت لك لكنها نجمة شوي وأداء بالبطولة. النجمة اختناق نجمة يا النجمة كان الأمية يقدرون يفوزون بيها لكن أخطاء الفريق هي اللي سببت الخسارة. أضحي بكل فريق بس ما أضحي بفريق. يعني ألعب بدون رؤوف، ألعب بدون كوبس، ألعب بدون حمودي، ألعب بدون لورد بس ما ألعب بدون فريق. تعلموا من الدرس أكيد.
open fire to the side of Boom, who's spreading out and doing scout work. Kase will fight back. They're taking those valleys.
خلينا نصغر الكاميرا حسها كبيرة.
In case they need to leave, just hop onto it. AGI8 reposition himself in a
يكون
very
حصان
open
الأسود في
bounce,
البي ام جي
scattered
سي.
within those
ورا
houses.
ام في
But
لهم
QQ trying to take the
مستقبل.
front line for luck, almost close, being knocked down.
لهم مستقبل خلاص.
فور
ام في.
Leo closing now, but the moment he popped that smoke, it was a perfect
ما
time
بليو.
from AGI8.
وولي.
But MAB,
كيسي.
they're not willing to give it away just yet. QQ spot out YOODO lines. QQ is so good at scouting information.
Oh, can he be good enough to take the shot? He has a mini 14. Perfect to get a knockdown onto the member of YOODO Alliance. But he chooses not to pull the shot yet. Chooses not to pull the trigger. YOODO Alliance without the circle. They have to go up to the hiker. They have to go in for the hike. Whereas for MAB, has Boom to deal with on the north side.
Ooh, there's a perfect Kirby down to his side of Pumbit.
ما حد غاصبهم علينا بس ميرامار هي اللي تتحمل هذا اللعب.
There's no way out for them. Two of them been knocked down. Wally tried to fight back against 4MV, but Wally can he do all the heavy lifting by himself? While the rest of MAB is bleeding out and try to revive. Boom closing in the gap. They are just compressing them.
جي طب هنا أمامنا البومبات. بومبات.
Wally tried to do a wondrous amount of work by himself, but Pumbit just finished off with a flash away of that jump shot.
Oh, this is Pumbit, ladies and gentlemen. And now 3 elimination points, but they are out. Still a decent round. But for YOODO Alliance,
ده 4 كلات أنتم مكان شقي.
FaZe will be waiting for them on the right, DRS on the left, and this FaZe and DRS gets busy with each other. The YOODO Alliance can take advantage.
Boom, bim bit.
Yumi.
Makul. Religy.
They're almost entirely been knocked down just now, but Yummy May spot out Fallout knocks him down. DRS fighting Norman with him. He one nade exactly knocked him down. But the nade coming up from the side of Boom, they're fighting back. They're not willing to count himself in those valleys anymore. Pushing in, it's going to be Pumbit taking the front line, while the rest will giving support fires at the back.
اخطاء الفريق طبعا اخطاء الفريق.
Finding a different angle. Probably waiting for the circle as well. Shamil gets knocked down by FaZe Clan. And at the same time, Boom, they have company to deal with. They have T2K as well. T2K overlooking them. Now back onto YOODO Alliance. They need to win this fight. They cannot share the same compound as DRS. We got YOODO Alliance on the other side, but YOODO Alliance, they have the numbers with Ade Luke, Rempo Boy, O'Leo.
يلا يا ليو. ريبو.
YOODO Alliance. Quite a lot of structures in between them, but they're closing in. DRS is just next to them. I think look already cooking up the nade. Spot it out exactly where Killer is, but they toss the smoke first before they actually toss those nades. Didn't clip on anybody. Just
nice direction. Allah. Allah.
On the ground. He's trying to make so much work by himself.
يلا شيل. شيل.
YOODO Alliance by himself. Rulzok made it happen for DRS.
Beautiful use of a smoke there to blind out the rest of YOODO Alliance and to just corner them, to just choke them at that.
لأنهم واصلين مرحلة احتراف قبلنا سابقين. كوبس هاي حكالت عليه كوبس. أفضل لاعب بالريجن العربي، لاعب عربي لو أجنبي.
NBeSports, them grating out from afar. AGI8 Blade and Buzz slowly go to the side of T2K. What Boom is just
باقي لنا 53 لايك ونوصل 300 لايك.
They're not aware. On the side of DRS, they need to
عربي وأجنبي. أجنبي كوبس أكيد.
Those vehicles.
بوم 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 اكلوهم. يلا هاي كلات ببلاش للتي 2 كي، كلات ببلاش للتي 2 كي. يلا نعيد خلص كل شيء، نعيد انتي كل شيء. ساندويش راح اسوي لهم ساندويش. لا يا ساندويش.
Shoots out the Boom. FaZe needs to reset himself. He got himself 5 first aids. He'll be okay for now. But how he's going to show himself next? But the rest of MBE
العربي بالارقام اتوقع الحجي.
1-3 for NBeSports.
يعني حتى البطولة ذيك كان هو جايب 27 كم.
T2K spotted out 2 of the players in the very
صح هو هذا الرقم يبحث عنه الحجي.
Not willing to open fire just yet. Here it comes. Hoping the sprays will connect. A bit too
شد
late.
ايمك ولك شد ايمك.
To toss one out. Mondo got on double down. Yummy May and the rest of Boom in a predicament. predicament. It's a dicey situation for them, barely hanging on to the foot of the mountain. But Rick keep purging those on the small shack. NBeSports cannot even pick out. But boom, how can they fight back? They're barely holding on their corners.
Oh, here we go. Razy just at that little corner, but DRS just right below them. Razy knows that someone's there. And now, DRS does have the circle. They'll be gate capped by Boom. But Boom will be overlooked by T2K from this high ground.
Boom is a bit too
عبودي
busy to the side of DRS.
مون وعبودي بس يمكن عبودي يعني المشكلة اثنينهم يلعبون دي بي اس يا اخي وانا اشوف انه اللاعب بدون دي بي اس يختلف عن لاعب مع دي بي اس ممكن نقول جعفر يعني مون جعفر عبودي بس لو استثني الدي بي اس راح اشيل مون وعبودي بخلي جعفر زيفان بيكون موجود بالرياض اي فكثير من اللاعبين ما راح تشوفه بنفس القوه بدون دي بي اس بس الفولت مش ناشئ كاكا هو يقول ناشئ وحش سانديش يلا سانديش يلا سانديش برافو مو هو شال الكلارايتي شال فرد لاعب ثاني لك سديمة قوم من شنو خايف ارد افهم
He'll finish up the job. There's going to be another point in the back for him. Mondo will need to pick up his teammate, but his teammate's just too far away.
لا زيفان تبع الهايبر يلعب فريق هايبر هو جي كي فيرست ورن وكايدنس وكيوزي
and he'll knock on him down. But Mondo keeping the eyes towards the side of T2K. They have to climb down, but at the same time they knock down to almost half of health. Blues are coming in. There's no more circle at this point. Suyok have to fight forward. They have to climb down, but the moment they jump down, they might actually cause their life as well as being shut down.
Suyok بيض ابلع T2K كان عندك فرصة العمر يا فريق T2K والله ضيعتوها يلا يامي ناجح ابن ناجح ناجح ابن ناجح تشكي لعوب يجنن عرب تشامبيون والله فرحت من شفت الاسم صراحة كيوتيل ريكارد ما اعرف اللاعب الشايب يمكن ارتكي بشكل عام كان فريق ممتاز برافو على العرب تشامبيون وعندهم جمهور وهذا الشيء مفيد للمينا صراحة
Okay, this is going to be really interesting. Can T2K do it or will Boom?
سيوق هذا ايمه بيض سانديش هو الفلوس الفريق
V2 right down smoke will be popped up by Sundash. Two smokes, in fact, to create that blind, to create that distraction for Boom.
But the blue side finish off from the T2K first. They have to push forward. Boom just waiting on it.
بيض ايمك بيض يا سيوق يا بوت. يلا بوم ابلع. اهل السعدية لا ما اعرف. البوم ياخذ جمهور بي تي ار. جاوبتك يا حبيبي يا كوبس جاوبتك قلبي والله جاوبتك يعني سوي كوبي بيست جاوبتك.
How much they secured those elimination because of their position just now for T2K?
Probably not as much because they were in a position where it was hard for them to secure elimination points. They had to wait for teams to come towards them instead of them able to get that proactive move. So that
يعني مو بس هو هذا الهدف اكو امور سببت الى هذول اللاعبين. انت تشوف من وجهة نظرك انهم استقطبوا لاعبين ناشئين بس هم من وجهة نظرهم لا واكو فد سبب معين لاستقطاب هؤلاء.
They had it so tough in their position. Those angles.
سويوغ يعني ما ادري ما اعرف ليش ليها سبب تي 2 كي.
90 degree of steep cliff just now to land any shot, but DRS they lost a lot.
هو هذا لعبهم.
You have to give it against YOODO Lions. One person rules not clutch the entire team of YOODO Lions by himself.
Yeah, just look at this. Okay, Rules gets one on the right, gets two in fact back to back, and then goes for a 1v1. Finish off with a jump shot, beautifully done. It was aesthetics, it was results, everything was onto DRS. But this was the grand finale, whereby Boom versus T2K. It could have went either way, in fact.
You know what, the last time I saw them was 9 eliminations before they finish off the rest of the teams just now. But T2K ended up at 9 eliminations by their round, close enough to get those chickens, but you have to give it to Boom. That was a difficult.
اقوى جيم حلان صارت واضحه. ما نتوقع منافس لفدرال.
فدرال خلينا ننافس نفسه.
خلي دمج جنا طلعت ها فدرال. اول ما جبت طار فدرال قبل نطة جنا.
They got a lot of elimination points. Let's be sure as you pass it on back.
ولا شكل البطولة اللي مشارك فيها الفرق العربية قارات آسيا وأفريقيا ضد أوروبا يوم 20.
And the winds of change have finally arrived. This is the first chicken dinner for those of you guys who are cheering on for Southeast Asian teams.
الجزائر.
And it
وأهل الجزائر على راسي.
Boom of Indonesia to take the top spot.
فيديو فدرال السنة هاي صفر في الشمال.
Giving 25 total points right now. And
الله صفر في الشمال.
T2K ruined their opportunity to get chicken dinner.
يبلع فدرال يبلع.
Team NB.
هو وكل مشجعينه من أهالي جدة.
I think the chicken dinner will be
أو جدة.
T2K's.
Yeah, that was a very unfortunate incident as well because that's where they actually have locked on targets.
سعود where are you؟ منقولي ما هو صيني اس تي اي. في اس تي اي صيني وفي اس تي اي المنقولي.
As well, and they managed to thrive. And majority of the case, Yummy has always been on that forefront to be able to put up a firm challenge. And by the end of it all, that 2 versus 2 was one of the best we've seen. And take a look at that. Boom. In one round.
لازم تتابعون مافيوزو وريفو وكاريلو وبيدرينيو بعد.
Amazing. They were on the second page, I think.
لازم تتابعون القوة لا بارك الله بالضعف. تابعوا الألفا 7 ومافيوسو وريفو كاريلو بيدرينيو وسينا ويانكا وكورجا.
Try to shoot NBeSports. There was a guy at a shack. He was really locked on Boom. Boom should be eliminated.
هاي بطولة تجمع جنوب آسيا وجنوب شرق آسيا.
Eventually they lost to Boom. They lost 2 guys first. And again, the team with the number.
كاريل ريفو أكبر من الريجن البرازيلي كله. يا مركز نافي ما مشارك هنا.
2 versus 2, that's 50-50. And Boom, they take those any given day. And this is definitely a massive win. A round with that number does not come by every single time. So let's see if Boom can actually keep it up in the upcoming round of Miramar. But before we get there,
لا مو عمي خسي. انتوا عمامي. جمهور عمامي. يخسي ريفو يصير عمي. إيه لأنه هذا بين جنوب آسيا وجنوب شرق آسيا فما له دخل نافي. نافي مشتركي.
So far, from what I've seen throughout so many matches, all these teams from South Asia definitely have high-level tactical plays, and of course, enough firepower to be able to offer. And then,
Alpha 7 إيه بين البصرة وبين الناصرية.
Win this round.
I think whatever they did this round will kind of help out the other Southeast Asian teams, knowing that they played with Boom before, especially team from Indonesia, such as Alter Ego, right? So knowing that we are better than Boom, and if Boom can get chicken dinner here, we can too. So I think AE most probably is going to do way better after this. And whatever Boom did, that was, again, high risk, high reward situation. Maybe more Southeast Asia team will do something similar. Being in that spot is not that great, but they did get chicken dinner with amazing amount of elimination point. Miramar is the place where you get this kind of elimination point. So I believe more team from Southeast Asia might want to try to do something similar. But head to head here, we see Boom against DRS. DRS, again, great placement point.
Yeah, and overall, just take a look at the substantial amount of damage that Boom actually offers. And with that massive win, they have contributed 24% of the
اي حبيبي قابل نظل عايشين قابل نظل عايشين احنا على الزمن الماضي ما راهم على الماضي استاذ رؤوف.
But it probably would have actually evened up the scorelines.
لأنه MV ما فاز ب
SEA versus SA.
But other teams from SEA, they need to step up their game now. Now that at least one team from Southeast Asia already got a chicken dinner, I hope the last game will also go to a Southeast Asian team. I'm expecting, maybe, hoping
نوفا يلعب بالPL.
Esports. That's definitely pretty interesting because I've
kind
of voted for them one of these rounds, and of course they do see their fair share of struggles. So, is there any particular reason why Vampire Esports?
Again, this is a big map, and we saw the tempo of the game is kind of different from Erangel. It's much slower compared to Erangel. And I think this kind of map, of course, will benefit Vampire. Vampire is very strong. Miramar, of course, they don't have the star player, Tony Kane, but Nuzi is playing. Nuzi been there. Nuzi been the Terminator for Thailand, even for PUBG Mobile Pro League Southeast Asia Grand Finals, right? So I assume that his firepower is somewhere there with Tony K. So I hope they will do better this particular round.
I definitely agree on your stance because historically, even from the early PMCO days, like Thailand has always shown that one of the best maps that they've played through many of all these maps is actually Miramar, and they know how to control a lot of all these different types of terrains, which make them pretty difficult to be dealt with by other teams. Meanwhile, from
يلا اقوى تيمات بالعالم ما تلعبوا الPMW النجمة والMB. نوفا متدهور عندهم ساعة 10:30.
But I'm just keeping my eyes on other than the PMPL Thai teams. I think we really got to focus back on Indonesia because we got Ego that has been carrying the flag of SEA at the top, and then now Boom is basically taking over. So Indonesia definitely deserves a lot of attention throughout this.
لا هم جايبين لي تي شيرت وأنا مودي لهم هدية جميلة إن شاء الله تشوفوها على السوشيال ميديا.
I will. I do. So it's gonna be a Boom Esports.
Your late one game.
Yeah. Usually, how this prediction goes is that before we even start the run.
يا أخي ليش ما يخلون الPL بيها تعليق عربي وتغطية؟
Yeah, I just got a feeling that Boom would actually win a round, but can they do a double? That's where I want to see.
Maybe they can, but I picked AGI8, but I'm hoping the Vampire will strike back this time around. Last game, the final circle was kind of odd. It was like a one small hill, then teams were playing around it. But when it comes to terrain like mountains and all those kind of things, I think Vampire is definitely a stronger team. So I would say Vampire and AGI. I'll get 2 picks this time around.
Yeah, fair enough. One from SA, one from SEA. So let's see.
لا شوف معه هي لو يكون تعليق عربي واكو مثلا statics website يعني
I definitely say Aegon I8 has been on the constant climb upwards. But if I were to put a finger, Mabetex Esports, NBeSports, they have been able to really come up with some really massive rounds with
عبد الله العامري مشتاقين حبايب باقي لنا 34 لايك ونصير 300 لايك.
I don't think they will be able to get a lot of points. I think their strength is basically the squad is 4.
بس تأخروا هذا الجيم كلش.
The open grounds is where they also do thrive. So it really depends on how this terrain.
حبيبي وعليكم السلام وانت بألف خير وعيد مبارك عليك.
I guess like that's about enough from us because we're about to head to our final round as we dive into our final action here along with Choo Choo as well as Sir Cloud.
Well, do you think that he's going to be the contractors again?
Maybe.
Yeah,
whenever he calls the shots, they're never going to win.
Yeah, at least Undergo got one, right? He got DRS, right?
Yeah, but I mean, like, by the same time, it's a bit too late. It's like he delayed. His prediction's a bit delayed.
Yeah, he needs to turn back time, you know. Yeah, so...
Bad for him, man.
Too bad. Too bad for him.
Well, speaking of which, yeah, this is where we can see in Miramar map, South Asia showing their prowess. But you mentioned earlier on, Alter Ego and FaZe Clan, if I'm not mistaken, one of the few teams in the top 5. We mentioned them at number 3 for Alter Ego. The only team without any chicken in the top 3. Takes them only 1 chicken, and that's it. They push themselves way up there.
Yeah, no chicken, no problem for some of the teams, right? Like, but I think it's also because like day 1 still, the points are very, very close.
True.
So that's why you just need that 1 chicken, then yeah. But if it's like day 4, you get that 1 chicken, you still be like, ugh, that sort of feeling.
But speaking of the next Miramar, well, finally South Asia region teams coming back, and they are more comfortable in this because when it comes to Erangel,
من اللي افتح رومات خلينا نلعب وياك تعطينا الاي دي
We'll need more rounds. Okay, let's take this round as like that sort of observation whether this round is a Southeast Asia map or not, as we have the final game, Miramar.
اسمها تشوتشو. اقول شو اخبار الدايت سلم عليك.
First and foremost, I have to apologize for all the players and even in the chat because I might butcher some of the names because there's so many numbers in between the player's name.
تقول اعتذر من كل المشاهدين وكل اللاعبين لان انا اخطأت ببعض الاسماء لان اكو اسماء بها ارقام. هاي المعلقة.
How do we close it? Come out from
عبودي بعد ME مسح اللعبة ليش يا ساتر؟
That's going to be more towards the right side, skewered flight path, but will it be on the left side when it comes to those circles?
R8.
Well, if we get something different, of course, that'll be nice. If we get something
Lost Eagles,
that'll be awesome. Yeah. If I
كم
get
يوم
my
بطولة؟
circle,
4
I'll be
أيام.
happy as well. So either one of those, I think that'll be nice. But because of the flight path on one
مثل نظام
one
MEA
side,
بالضبط.
so early on we saw a flight path that's pretty nice, that pretty much in the middle. So with this side flight path,
طبيعي هاي رياضة. اتمنى لهم امورهم تكمل ويسافرون ان شاء الله للرياض ونشوفهم.
Dependent on the circle. It's suddenly like, okay, you drop somewhere random and then like the circle's like, oh, the circle's on the right. Well, maybe they choose not to go to the left instead.
But you know what? Trailer Park and Ruins feels like Zaki in this case, in this map, right? Zaki, at least we got one Zaki when it comes to Erangel last time. But we do have a very generous, again, a very sort of similar circle, a bit more to as Los Leones. We had it around there somewhere before. But this time we do have a bit heated up as initial drop spot, which is going to be between Box Gaming and Hill.
Ooh, previously we didn't see this sort of tussle inside of Impala,
Box Gaming.
but now we will be served with a tussle somewhat.
ضد HAL
this
Esports.
is Impala is still within the circle, right? So
Jet
they
slow,
can somewhat take their
Tiger,
time, and there's
Sky
still
only.
a decent amount of space for them to move away, like whether they
Mila.
follow the north or the south. FaZe Clan with Mela, a couple of shots onto Slipknot, but nothing too big.
FaZe on the other hand, very peaceful around us somewhere so far. I've got one more team nearby, but still quite a distance, around 300 meters apart. MBE, this time surprisingly, Cloud, if you compare with the last
MBE
one, right?
كل ما اشوفهم اتذكر MBA
Maybe because of the flat path
واتذكر الاسطورة الراحل كوبي براينت ولا ليبرون والليكرز وميامي هيت واوستن.
Yeah, and if you want like early action, then normally it's like because of this kind of flight path.
هو مع إعارة فعلا
like
إعارة.
was one of it. It's just
يا
so
جنى.
happened that Impala is wide enough for the two teams. Now, whether it's enough loot for the two teams, then there's a separate conversation. But at least ground-wise, it's big enough. But so far, we have not seen.
يا حبيبي يا فهود على راسي لا ما اتوقع يعني يقصدون الاسقاط على الارض لا مستحيل بس قد يطقطقون فاهم مستحيل ما يقدر يلعب وياهم بالبي ام ار سي قد يلعب وياهم بالبي ام بي يلا جاي.
You might be heading into a first but on the second stage here, possible. Or even before. Never mind. I take that back. There's contact.
Yeah, although I'll argue that Lost Learners is common with the current meta for the past few seasons that 3 teams can occupy themselves into Lost Learners. So I don't expect to see like the first blood being in there unless something unfortunate happens. But for the most part, I think by now, looking at the current meta, and it's all across regions, right? That Lost Learners occupying 3 teams, I think they'll be fine.
You know, I look at the numbers when it comes to the regional comparison. I think a lot of what being lifted for South Asia region is going to be coming up from Boom. You look at the gap.
ما بيها مقعد لا بس ما بيها مقعد هاي البطولة بس هاي البطولة حتى تيمات تعتاد على بعض وتطور ريجنال. تيم ترشح ياخذه قلت لك يوم 10 انشر توقع على الانستغرام. اقرب بطولة يوم 11/7 للبي ام دبليو اي.
Pie chart will still skew towards South Asia.
That's kind of true. So Boom has been breaking their back, contributing to a point.
جنات تشجع فالكون.
Yeah, for the bragging rights of Southeast Asia.
من رايح متى رايح للرياض؟
والله
ما ادري ان شاء الله الله يكتب لنا الراحة. عافية واحدة قسم بالله.
It did land one-hand grenade on top of Gosu, but will they willing to push in?
Oh, okay, looks like they're willing to, but T-Dog is waiting. He knows that they'll take the bait. And T-Dog, at least he gets a knockdown, so a little bit of a trade there between Box Gaming and Hale Esports. Both players still able to be picked up by respective.
تحية لولف طبعا، نتمنى الوالدته ان شاء الله يشافيها ويعطيها الصحة والعافية.
Bit of a trading done between Box and Hale for now.
حيكون له مستقبل كبير بالسنوات الجاية. حبيبي علاوي خالي، عاد انت خالي انا خوالد ذيم.
All the way for a retreat. It feels like they're going for a retreat and disengagement for now, knowing for the fact they might be a bit handicapped versus the entire squad of Hill, and they don't have enough to work alongside with them as well because they do have a couple of shotguns and UMP, but when it comes to resources, when it comes to throwables,
وش اختصار اسم الفريق اللي تشجعه؟ اي اي في بي اس تي اخير ايه جميلة. الفا 7 اي 7 اخوان والله الاسم عظيم. رؤوف خليفه اعتزل اللي يجيبون مكانه خلي يجيبوني عادي. تيم اسمه بي سي. مين العرب المشاركين في البطولة الجاية؟ جي كي ار 8 توستد مايند و ايكورد و شو اسمه بعد ايكورد وبعد منه وتايتن يعتبر تايتن راح يلعب اسم جديد طبعا. في يعتبر اسم يعتبر فريق تابع للريجن العربي الافريقي. كبر فاميلي اكيد يعني كبر بالنتيجه. قدم ما قدم. محمد ايش معنى تهلو؟ ما افتهمت شنو تهلو. ما ادري اذا اي ار جي او غير اسم. ها مو وياي؟ عبالي وياي. عليكم السلام. ملا شنو معنى اسم الفا 7؟ ما اعرف والله. تأهلوا قصده تأهلوا. ومتى تشوف ملا يعلق بالدوري السعودي؟ صعبة اذا تقصد الدوري السعودي لكرة القدم صعبة لانه اس اس سي عندهم توجه لصناعة معلق سعودي يعني. اتوقع يعني بس يخلص عقد سمير المعيرفي مع الكأس بياخذون سمير المعيرفي يعني فاهمني؟ اكو توجه للاس اس سي لصناعة معلق سعودي، هوية معلق سعودي يعني يكون مواكب لفهد العتيبي وعيسى الحربين وهاي الاسماء. مش منفوخين جنا قاعد يلعبون بجوال جديد. اي يعني في لصناعه معلق سعودي ااخر يعني مو بس فهد العتيبي على غرارهم يعني. يكون اكو مواكبه يعني. يب بس الاس تي سي الاس اس سي شبكه يعني هي داخله بقوه لشراء حقوق بطولات عالميه كبيره فممكن يكون
Well, then that's bad because yeah, they still need to travel. The circle they move down south. Of course, we do hope that it's not going to be an urban warfare. You know, the only person in this room that loves urban warfare is Contra.
That's kind of true, but I'm looking at Opto. I'm worried for him right now, playing a very dangerous game straight into the side of Empires. If he's not being careful, it might shot down from afar. YOODO Lions sharing the same compound on top of Lost.
سوري صار ميوت. ليش تعلق على انا وعدوني انه ان شاء الله بالسنه الجايه يتم بنائي كمعلق للكره لان بالنتيجه انا ما عندي خبره بالتعليق الكروي وحتى اخر تجربه يعني رحت وعلقت كانت جيده بس ستيل كنت فاقد بعض المصطلحات الكرويه فيحتاج لي بناء او يعني يحتووني كمعلق. الله يا دمرود الله يا دمرود.
Like placing themselves in such a crossfire here, covering most of the grounds right on top of these elevations. Mika spotted out one of the players. They may be in trouble, but he got shot. They are retaliating. Which direction those coming up from? GEEK SLATE, they've been shot from afar. Spotted out. MAB one by one been plucked off by the hands of GEEK SLATE here.
Our second elimination for GEEK SLATE as Damru will secure it. But now for Alter Ego, Vampire Esports. Going in for the hunt. Rosemary managed to get away. But will he be able to get it onto the clear? Shots fired.
فقلت لكم انه ان شاء الله يعني تم تهيئتي الفترة الجاية.
But potatoes on the other side, those stone. Emptying two magazines.
دائما اشرب عسل يوميا. رجعنا ضليه بكثير بس سنجل ليش؟ لا احنا عندنا لورد واحد من يمكن افضل لاعبي العالم بالدي ام ار بالميني بورتي. تنسانا لا بالعكس ولا نسيتكم من وصلت البي ام بي ال ولا نسيتكم وصلت بي ام جي سي ولا راح انساكم من نوصل الدوري العراقي ولا راح انساكم من نوصل دوري ابطال اسيا ولا راح انساكم من نوصل دوري المدري ايش اسمه راجنر واحد من اللاعبين المميزين بال سينجل شوت. زفان خرافي مرعب من مجنون زفان. تشوف تيم عربي ياخذ بي ام دبليو اي كانت تصير العام ممكن السنه تصير افضل. العام كنا نشوف بطل عربي. شوفوا عندهم بطل بميرامار كلش كبير وهذا الريجن توب مجنون يعني كثير اسماء اقصد. ليش بدك تميل للكرة؟ لا ما اريد اعوف بجاني بس اريد اكون بالكرة هم ما بيشي. الاي سبورتس مجال كبير والكرة مجال اكبر. عشان انت تحب ببجي بس تحب الكرة. والكل اللي هنا موجودين يتابعون ببجي بس يعشقون الكرة. هي الكرة ام الرياضات. حبيبي فنش. اجل عمدوك انطي مجال بيكس خليه يدخل جي خلص. دوك ايست امام اللعبة. نقطة العالم خلال الفرق يلعبون جوال جديد مثلا لاعب يقدم كل مستوى خاصة العرب. جوال مو مانع. يا رب يا فاميلي. لا ما البي ام ار سي لا البي ام دبليو اي بس البي ام ار سي لا. ليش؟ قل لي ليش. لانه البي ام ار سي مدخولك المادي مو كافي لان تشتري اجهزه جديده. جا صار شيء $1000 تقريبا، اقل اكثر بشوي، فتحتاج 4 اجهزه $3200. انت مو ضامن تطلع هذا المبلغ من بي ام ار سي. يا حبيبي يا سول ان شاء الله. اكيد الايفون افضل، بس مو مشكله الجوال، لانه الكل يلعب نفس الجوال، وهذا سبونسر بالنتيجه يعني. هذا سبونسر البطوله، الراعي الرسمي البطوله اللي دافع. كيف يعني؟ والجوال هذا الماجيك برو جيد 90 فريم، افضل من النسخ قبل اللعبه بكثير. صح 100,000 بس مثلا انت كل فريق يشارك ياخذ 5000، يعني انت كلنا نروح على الجوال. يلا يلا يا الفي بي. ريفن كلاو الرز. شوفوا العم، شوفوا الوحش، شوفوا الاسطوره. نوك خرب يومه. التريجو فاناتيك اختناق التريجو. شيل ابويا شيل. يا ايست.
They had to just come in from the other side, right? When Altigo looked like they were on the move, they were trying to do something, but the surprise happened to land onto
GEEK.
An unpleasant surprise, I must say.
يعني شوفوا الزون ذيك المره راح على تله اللي بالطرف مال نابنديتا وميناز جنراليز، هسه على لوس. اخوان المباراه متاخره 20 دقيقه. شو ملت اللي دخل.
Well, they do have a lot of Team T2K very spread out amongst themselves, but Hill as the top. Here we go again, flash down on his knees. He wants to go for the push, but will be a bit too reckless if he just go by himself, because I don't see the rest of STE following his footsteps or giving support there, because they are just too spread out for the side of STE.
And they're still busy resetting since IC is down. They're going for the save first. So there's more like warning shots towards Hail Esports, but at the same time, Top doing his scouting work, getting information for his team. And now with that information, since Hail Esports is on that high ground, looking unlikely for them to really try and push in and move over to NBE. Another interesting ditch that they found. So this is the second time around that they like to play in this current, with this kind of era, but it's good for 2 players, not gonna lie.
Same time, I worry if there's one nade being tossed over here, or even one molly, that's done.
That'll be
that's a done deal, that's it.
That'll be the worst thing, that'll be the worst way to end the day, you know.
So far, nobody's spotting out them yet, but I'm not sure for how much longer. 4MV has been going so hot in this round. They're on a steamroll. 4MV spotted STE, tried to take them down. E's got chipped down quite a number of HP, and now finally on the ground. Action making it happen with those nades going up, but here comes a Defier back on the side of 4MV. And they tried to toss out the action knocked down by who was it? Refused coming up from off angle entirely. But GEEK fighting against Box Gaming. T-Duck taking on Snipes. STE on the other hand, living with only 3 players left, fighting the entirety of 4MV down there.
Wow, Refuse! 2 knockdowns back to back again.
لا ما كان اكو مشاكل انترنت ببطولة العالم PMGC ابد مستحيل.
At the same time, the zone will close and will move away from the town. We will be seeing Vampire Esports in the middle of the zone.
Not a Refuse still alive, and they're down to come of HP left. He refused to die as a refusal.
يلا they chicken the vampire.
They still have 4 men standing strong, even though Refuse almost got knocked down entirely just now, and they got themselves 9 eliminations by now. There's no stopping
Sony, Mika, Damrud.
Taking the #1 spot as we speak.
Well, Team Mongolia, they're back on the top at the #1 spot, unless NBE, well, they're another Mongolian team though, so if either one looks like
for
Mongolia
NBE
is
مساك
gonna
الله
do
يا
well in
ساتر.
being #1 for GEEK SLATE at this point in the circle, and 4 elimination points to Damrud, but it's gonna be missed. Beautifully done.
Gosh, Damrud.
up, and GEEK SLATE will win the fight.
Outnumbered just now. But definitely valiant effort for the side of NB.
اوه شنو يتفنش قدام عينك يا اخي حرام.
The next contender is going to be Vampires. Newsy. Definitely uneasy where he stands himself. A bit too open, a bit exposed down there. Nothing to cover himself. Maybe a rock in between, but nothing more than that. As GEEK SLATE behind you heard
نوزي شجرة.
shots just now. YOODO Lions trying to open up wide as much as they can. FaZe and Vampires in between. GEEK SLATE spotted out by YOODO Lions. T2K next to them. There's too many teams in this same compound.
Oh yeah, the top right corner, we got like 4 or 5 teams there, but the Blade almost getting knocked out for himself.
Pakistan.
Survive for now as East gets knocked out by Rules from DRS. Look at the amount of teams.
25 لايك على نص اللي لل 300 لايك قبل نهاية البث أحبتي. شكرا لتعاونكم.
For me, I would be scared of 4MV right now. They don't have a care in the world if they lost 1 man or 2. Because they are just hunting down all the teams down there. Might even the first one to hit a double digit, while the rest still halfway to go. GEEK SLATE will have the 5.
أفضل قطعة لتصوير الأقيام الآيفون نفسه بدون قطع تصور أفضل شيء. أما إذا تريد تصور وتبث وكذا وهالأمور فتاخذ الليجاتو ولا فريق يتأهل يمكن.
On the outside, so that's good news for Vampire Esports at least. But for Hale, this is where I worry for Hale though.
يا أخي عشت ما أدري ليش.
And by that time, for them to get up to the high ground, other teams will be waiting for them. So I'm not too sure about Hale's chances though. So they need a lot of luck here for the other teams to move away at least.
So many teams stuck in between here. What's worse, they got himself not even elevations to work around there. Can't even pick out. FaZe got 1 building for themselves. Definitely solid enough for them to stand strong. Got themselves still inside of a circle. But in the next couple of seconds, we have no clue will they still be favored by it or not. He'll have to get out from there. They have to wait for all the other teams to start open fire first, so they'll be distracted. But the circle still favors FaZe, who still have a 4 and a compound to work around. Vampires in between. YOODO Alliance split it out with Ripple Boy. It's going to be 1-3 formation. T2K spreading out in a straight line. But GEEK SLATE taking a bit on silent part. DRS not inside, but 4MV.
مالمينا أوفلا صح.
Yeah, tough spot for Hale. I mean, arguably even tougher than AGI8 because AGI8 they have the numbers at least, so that's something.
يتأهل من وين؟
They don't have the numbers.
They're
on the lower ground. AGI move away, but doesn't mean that Hale can take away AGI's spot to rotate because every team is there. And speaking about AGI8, T2K will be ready for them.
Blade have to just revive one of their teammates.
أنا بالميمز حتى ما ناشر ستوري.
Trying to take out all these containers players out. They spotted out T2K, but Ray coming out of angle. It's shot down with the DBS. Here comes the Molly to win them over life. There's no way out for them, and that's it. For AGI8, what a play from Ray, giving a support fire and just finish off the entirety, deleted AGI8 from there.
Yeah, can you imagine Hale follow AGI8? That's probably going to be the same ending. But now for Hale, not only they're on the outside of the circle, not only they don't have the numbers, but they need to cross the road. And the moment they do so, YOODO Alliance will be waiting for them. And speaking about YOODO Alliance, they have a compound to work with. But number 9, looks like we have another team eliminated.
But Hale will not go down easily. At least they got themselves some consolation out of the trade with 1-1 just now for those elimination numbers. But on the side of YOODO Lions, definitely the outnumbered side of Hale right now. But they got themselves 2 cornered with those structures. They barely get to see what's happening outside. T2K right on top of them. They're just next to another team. DRS spreading out, coming alongside with the blue zone or playing around the rim of a circle. Now they have to cross the street, but waiting for the
ما شفت ما ناشر شيء بالميمز وين ما شفتها.
Taking those low grounds with Hale Flash going solo all the way, but that's it for
T2K
Hale.
اختناق.
By 4MV, they got another point in the back. 10 points right now.
FaZe, Vampire, DRS, GEEK, YOODO.
It was an almost impossible situation for them, so they got to be happy with 5 elimination points.
Lakash for NBeSports.
But for the rest of them within the circle, well, everyone's just going to hold on to their ground until the circle shifts. But for GEEK SLATE, DRS looking at them, and they don't know that Killer is there.
Playing multi-level of terrains for the side of DRS. Spreading out, widen their angle.
هو تعليقهم هادئ جدا لو اني احس انه ولين انا نعسان قاعد احس انه يعني مو هادئ نايم لو اني نايم اصلا. كبرت انت ما تفرح بعد بعيني افتهمت.
Airdrop is just so near. Newsy tempted to take it.
يعني صح يجيب لك الخدر والملل والنعاس
Ravenclaw already moving towards it, but here comes the next circle. Who will have to move now?
Ooh, okay, this is gonna be insane. Okay, that's feeling the anticipation now. And looks like Vampire Esports not only had the airdrop, but also had the circle still in the middle of it, still with the compound. 4MV needs to move. They're playing as a trio. But arguably the toughest could be DRS, as DRS needs to cross the road. But since no one's gatekeeping them, it should be okay. But 4MV is on the other side, so if they cross together, they could meet at the crossroad.
Maybe they might be spotting out DRS since they use their vehicles. Definitely give away their information and the sound audio cue. I think 4MV want to open fire, but it's a bit too late the moment they try to pick out. But Vampires leave it for DRS.
Nice DRS!
No, definitely not on the side of GEEK. They open fire to the side of DRS, and they will respond to it. Where did their shots come from? And they want to find those.
Nice DRS.
Wow. Okay, looks like they went straight into the middle, which is okay. 4MV still on the outside.
Nice, nice. Bravo, bravo, bravo,
but
bravo.
DRS, they might lose Delta as he gets knocked down as they go into the Tiger's mouth, which is T2K. Nade tossed out by Jane onto DRS, putting a lot of pressure to them, and then Nade will take him out. Luckily for DRS, there's still one more alive.
Still have 3 players up there for the side of DRS.
Bravo DRS والله. Bravo.
Placing himself in unorthodox position. That's going to be DRS playing at this as smart as possible. But FaZe knocking on Vampire's door.
هاي دي بي اس هاي دي بي اس هاي حظ الدي بي اس واخلاق الدي بي اس وفلوكي حلوه فلوكي قال له اقعد انت ودي بي اس اقعد انت ودي بي اس مالك انزل يا وحش انت والنار انزل 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 عوف الاف فيرست بيرسون عوف الاف بي بي عوفه وين احنا يلا 4MV تعال شيل الكلات شيل الكلات شيل اخذ الكلات اخذ 4MV 4MV اخذ رشك واحد لا والله اخذ كلات انا اشوف كم كل اخذ 4MV اخذ 2
Oh, and not only that, the beast has the circle. So they're in a good position right now. Sharing the same area. It's going to be YOODO Alliance right beside them. 4MV play as a trio, but looking good so far.
Mongoli 4MV.
As for T2K, they still have DRS to deal with.
Oh, Jane. Very sneaky.
18 لايك ونوصل إلى 300 لايك حبايب.
For the side of T2K, they know exactly where DRS are, but being overpicked there. Being shot from afar.
دمجه والله الكلاب.
Got any room to pick out.
T2K راح يندار على اليودو الاينس اضرب ال 4MV عوف الدي ار اس بمكانهم بحالهم. لك عاش دك عم اللعبه دك عم اللعبه دك. Jate for DRS on the lower ground tries to see exactly where T2K is at, but T2K always very good with the high grounds. Suya will onto DRS, it will not connect though. And now the pressure is definitely on to YOODO Alliance as well as the circle will close in. T2K still needing to... Bravo يا كيلر.
One knockdown to Jane.
Killer got barbecued, but couldn't make it anyway. Rick, what a nice molly that one. Suya keeping the pressure on. YOODO Alliance want to butt in, but there's going to be 4MV watching them too closely behind. GEEK on the other hand, waiting for the right time. They got one knockdown on that side. Need to pick it.
جيانتي أبوهم جيانتي. شيل ميكا.
Everybody in the same corner here. We're talking about this very pipeline with T2K and also DRS.
هذا الدي ار اس هذا الدخول يعني يبين لك انه هو حافظ هاي المنطقة حفظ عن بكرة أبيها. لك عمري خلي الدي ار اس يعيشون. خلي الدي ار اس يعيشون. حرق نفسه صح؟ حرق نفسه جيانتي؟ لا نيد مال 4 ام في. نيد 4 ام في 4 ام في 4 ام في 4 ام في. جيانتي كان مع تي 2 كي قبل. وشفتني علقت عليه بالدي ار اس ب لا ما كان ويا انت شفتني علقت عليه مع تي 2 كي بس جيانتي مع الدي ار اس عذرا. بس جيانتي وين كان والله راحت من بالتي. الله راح من بالي يا ربي. يلا 4 ام في 4 ام في 4 ام في 4 ام في. هسه راح اقول لك مع منو كان. مع الدي ار اس بالبي ام جي سي. شفتني علقت عليه. 4 ام في 4 ام في 4 ام في 4 ام في. منغوليا 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 4 ام في 4 ام في 4 ام في 4 ام في 21 كل يا عالم يا ناس. 21 كل 31 نقطة يا بشر. يا الله يا الله. برافو 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 برافو. ويستاهلون الفور ام في 300 لايك. باقي لي 15. برافو. insane and incredible. يا قوياء يا مرعبين يا اساطير يا وحوش. يا قوة قوة ولا بارك الله بالضعف. يا فريق يا جميل يا دوك يا أسطورة يا أسطورة العالم. 18 سنة يا اخوان. 18 سنة بعمر هذا الوحش. برافو 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 برافو. نايس ابيكس اكتشافات فالكون. نايس. تحية الفالكون طبعا. وجهوا لنا التحية وبوسنا اياه. وابيكس همينه طفل. هم الصغار يبدعون. والله شكرا. والله والله شكرا 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 على هذا الأداء الخرافي. ومن ناحيتي أقول لكم شكرا لكم. يعطيكم ألف عافية ما قصرتوا. نسأل الله العلي العظيم أنه كنا معاكم خفيفين الظل. حبينا نشارككم بهذه البطولة بهذا اليوم الجميل. نعيد معاكم. كل عام وانتم بألف خير. أحبكم والله على راسي. كل واحد كل من يشجع كل من يكتب كل من يدعم يحفز. هو لكم هاي يعني حق اسوي هالواتش بارتي لكم حتى تستمتعون بيها. شكرا. اشوفكم باكر في امان الله. السلام عليكم.